Welcome back to another episode of the Real Duo Podcast, the most mediocre podcast on the internet. I'm one of your hosts, Wade.
I'm another host, Devin.
We got a new microphone.
We do. Hopefully, audio's a little better.
Hopefully this works. Hopefully nothing fucks up because I don't want to have to re-record this.
We will probably have to re-record.
God damn it. I only have enough energy for one.
One?
So if we have to re-record it, I'm gonna just, here's the news, I ain't yelling and screaming.
You get one a week. That's all. That's what everybody gets. One a week.
Yeah. Well, it's last few episodes. It's like once a month.
Yeah.
So we've been slacking, but
we've been slacking. There's not a lot to talk about.
There's not.
So we just condense it into one every 3 weeks.
Yeah. So far, yeah. What have you been watching these past couple weeks, though?
The most noteworthy thing is I watched The Disaster Artist, which I told you about. Mm-hmm. I thought it was fantastic. I've never seen The Room.
It was really good.
But I thought James Franco did a good job.
You didn't watch The Room?
No. I think I've seen enough of The Disaster Artist to not have to watch
The Room is a masterpiece of bad filmmaking. It is the Citizen Kane of bad movies.
I've seen Velocipastor.
It's not. No. The Room is a good bad movie.
It's a good bad movie. Like Samurai Cop?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I'd say it's on like a Samurai Cop.
Well, I've seen Samurai Cop, so I don't need to watch it.
It's not the same movie. One's about a white samurai man, and the other one's about a white vampire man.
From Poland.
From wherever the hell he's from.
I think he's from Poland. I don't know.
He claims he's from Louisiana.
The accent sounds Polish. He's most definitely not from Louisiana.
He says he is. Yeah, Disaster Artist was great.
What else? I watched something else that I was going to talk about. I don't remember what it was.
Didn't watch anything?
We watched Solo and Rogue One.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah. What'd you think about those? Rewatching?
Solo still sucks. It's a stupid movie, and it should have been made. Rogue One's fine. It's okay. I don't hate it. It's got some dumb stuff in it, but it's fine.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of what I watched, but I can't remember. Fuck. It was another movie.
Who's in it?
I don't know. I don't remember the movie at all.
So
I know I watched.
Did you watch a movie?
I know I did, but I don't remember what it was. I watched WandaVision. All right, you go. What'd you watch? I'll think of it later.
I watched a lot of stuff. One being WandaVision. I also watched a film called Gretel and Hustle.
It's not a movie. It's a
film. It's an artsy film by a filmmaker.
What would Martin Scorsese say this is a film?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, definitely, because it's not Marvel. So yeah, anything that's not Marvel, he's like, yeah.
Is it on Scorsese level?
No.
Oh.
Then
it ain't a film.
I've seen the director's previous film, The Black Coat's Daughter. I think that movie's much better than this, but I still really enjoyed this. Visually, it's fucking incredible. It's like one of the best looking movies I've seen in a long time. It's amazing. The plot's kind of simple. It's the story of Hansel and Gretel, but it's like a horror twist on it.
I feel like they've done this like 3 or 4 times.
There's a fuck ton of Hansel and Gretel films. Because I'm pretty sure that story is like public domain, so anyone can just
same with like
make a movie
like
out of
Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, I would love a horror Humpty Dumpty movie
where he just cracks his head open.
Fuck yeah! The whole movie's building up to that, and then at the end he just falls off and he dies.
Oh, I remember what I watched.
Shit, Humpty Dumpty.
War Dogs. I've already seen it.
Oh, you watched War Dogs?
I've already
War
seen
Dogs
it.
Is good.
I've already seen it, but I was just like, it's on Netflix. We're gonna watch it.
I
like War Dogs. It reminds me of a Tarantino film, even though it's not a Tarantino.
It's trying to emulate that.
Oh,
isn't that from the director of Joker? Didn't he direct that?
Todd Phillips? I have no idea. I don't know who directed it.
I think he did.
It's a good movie. I like War Dogs.
I like War Dogs.
Also watched Hateful Eight for the first time, which I'd never seen.
Yeah, you did.
Not the extended cut. I watched the normal cut.
I love Hateful Eight. Everybody else poops on it, but everybody
Channing
else
Tatum just shows up at the end.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, more Channing Tatum.
He's great in it.
I thought he was Mexican at first.
I think he's playing a Mexican, or he's trying to like.
Because he says "say goodbye to your huevos," and then he shoots.
Your huevos.
And he shoots Sam Jackson in the balls.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
The movie's been out for a while.
So yeah, that's what I was
trying
to remember.
One of Tarantino's best films.
Is it worth watching the extended cut?
The extended cut, I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it's the same thing. It's just broken up into parts.
So it's gonna be like Justice League.
Justice League's not gonna be broken up.
It is. It's in chapters.
It's in chapters, but it's one thing.
But it's still Netflix. You could put it.
But Netflix, you could. But Netflix is like different episodes.
But still, it's a chapters.
Sure,
but yeah, they just broke it into episodes.
Yeah, it's just broken into episodes. So it's the same thing.
There's no extra footage.
Not that I've heard.
Well, that's stupid. What's the point in breaking it up then?
Just I guess because people had a problem with the length of it.
The movie is broken up like that, anyways.
Yeah. So I mean, but you should just watch the movie. It's a long movie,
I did.
But just watch.
I watched it, and it was good.
It was great. Liked it. It's a great film.
I'm slowly getting through Tarantino's films. Slowly.
How many do you have left?
What do I still need to see? I've seen Inglourious Basterds, Pulp Fiction, both Kill Bills. I've seen Django, Hateful Eight.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Reservoir Dogs. Have I seen that? What's that about?
That's with Tim Roth.
Yes, I have seen that one. What's left?
You need Death Proof.
You
need Jackie Brown.
And
I think that's it. I think you just need those two.
Oh. Alright, I got 2 more.
Because he's only made 9 so far.
That was 10. I guess Kill Bill counts as 1.
He counts Kill Bill as 1.
Yeah. So I just got 2 left then.
Yeah. And Jackie Brown is my favorite Tarantino film.
Those are the 2 that I don't hear people talk about a lot. Jackie Brown and...
Yeah, no, Death Proof sucks.
Death Proof.
Death Proof is a shit movie.
Is that his worst?
Yeah. It
worse
sucks.
than Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I don't hate Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
It's terrible.
I hate it because it's really boring for a Tarantino film. That's why
it is kind of boring. Death Proof, I don't think you would understand Death Proof, not because it's like, oh, it's like super smart and you're not gonna get it, just
it's
because
super dumb.
It's emulating films that I don't think you're familiar with.
Oh,
like it's emulating like Grindhouse movies from like the 70s. And if you know fucking nothing about Grindhouse films, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? This is weird. Because it was meant to be a part of that Grindhouse thing that he did with Robert Rodriguez, and then they just broke it up and made it its own thing. But it's bad. It's not very good. But Jackie Brown's awesome.
I have to watch Jackie Brown.
I
don't think it's on Netflix. I think all of his other movies are.
I have it if you want to watch it. It's so good. Robert Forster's in it. He's really good in it. Sam Jackson's in it.
Sam Jackson's in all of them.
Yeah. Robert De Niro's in it. He's fucking really good.
What's your 10th one going to be, Tarantino? Better be a space movie, goddammit.
It'll probably just be another drama.
Or a western. A space western.
Do another western. Tarantino's westerns are fucking awesome.
Space western.
He won't, but I want him to.
Do The Mandalorian.
No, he's not going to do that.
Because they're
not going to let him do that.
No, they wouldn't. He's like, I'm going to put at least 30 F-bombs in
Sam Jackson's going to be in it. He's going to say nigga like 15
It's like, we can't do that. Sam Jackson's already in the universe.
He's a different character.
Well, we're going to bring him back anyways.
We'll paint him purple.
We'll bring back Mace Windu.
Yeah, and he'll say motherfucker.
A lot.
That's all his dialogue.
And then he'll die.
Again. He'll get shot violently.
And the Mandalorian's going to die, because that's how my movies go.
Everybody's going to die.
And Brad Pitt's going to be in it?
Brad Pitt's going to be in it for some reason.
Leonardo DiCaprio's going to be in it?
Kurt Russell's going to be in it for one scene and then not do anything.
That's just how my movies roll.
Yeah.
And he'll give Kathleen Kennedy the finger as he walks out the studio.
Tarantino would not get along with anyone at Lucasfilm. Tarantino's an asshole. And he would not abide by any of them.
I wonder if he's met George Lucas.
I'm sure he's met George Lucas at some point. I wouldn't put it past him. If Tarantino wants to meet George Lucas, he's meeting George Lucas. Like, he's got that much power.
It's weird. I'm wearing my Mandalorian shirt.
I got a Star Wars shirt on.
Weird.
I mean, 90% of my shirts are Star Wars and Marvel. So
I have like 2 Star Wars shirts. I have a lot of Marvel shirts, but... Anyways, continue on with what you were talking about before I rudely interrupted
this horror film. It's really good. It's not like amazing. It's not like mind blowing, but I enjoyed it.
When did it come out?
Was it come out 2020?
Oh, so it's new.
I think it was like last year. It came out last year. It's only 80 minutes. It's like 87 minutes, so it's pretty short.
It's barely a movie.
But
it's not even a movie.
It's a movie.
An hour and a half is a movie.
That's almost an hour and a half.
It's a little short.
But it's really good. I enjoyed it.
Recommended?
If you like weird, trippy horror movies, then yeah.
What if you watched it on acid?
If you want to watch it on acid,
would it be normal if you watched it on acid?
It'd probably be very boring on acid. It'd probably just be like a regular movie.
Just So what am I watching right now? Insidious?
What the fuck is this? This is boring.
What the fuck is this?
So don't watch it on acid. Because this is like taking acid.
You don't need acid. You just watch that.
Just watch this. This is it's like watching the Max. If you've ever seen the Max MTV series, I've always described that as a very accurate representation of what doing like LSD is like. Because that whole show, like, none of it makes any sense, and it's just fucking nonsense.
How would you know it? Have you done LSD?
No, but that's what I think LSD would be like.
I thought you were going to say legally. I cannot answer that question.
I cannot do that.
Legally.
It's like that episode. It's like in It's Always Sunny. You ever been to Florida? Not physically.
Have you ever murdered anyone? I'm told by my PR team I'm not allowed to.
Not legally.
That. Not allowed to answer that. Why did they find something? Is that
did they find anything? Because if they didn't, then I didn't do anything.
I didn't do nothing.
I didn't do shit.
But if they found my fingerprints there, I still didn't do nothing.
I also watch Old Dogs for some reason.
Old Dogs. I feel like I've heard of that.
The John Travolta, Robin Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen
I only watched that. That movie's not bad, but I only watched that because I have nostalgia for it because I saw it in the theater with my grandma.
You saw that with your grandma?
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird movie to watch with your grandma.
Hey, we wanted to go to the movies and Old Dog was playing, so we went to go see it. I saw so many. I saw Welcome Home Roscoe Jenkins in the fucking theater with my grandma, and anyone who knows what that movie is would be like, "Why the fuck did you see that in the theater?" Because it's not a good movie.
You probably also did see Sausage Party in the theater also.
Not with my grandma.
No, don't ever tell your grandma to watch that.
Well,
I wouldn't recommend anybody to watch that. So
yeah. I saw it with a group of 20-year-olds, and they all loved it. And I was, of course, I had to be the curmudgeon.
I would have been too. I would just been like, "This is stupid.
It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
This is a bunch of hot dogs, fucking hot dog buns, and it's weird. There's an orgy in it. I don't like it.
It's not fun.
Makes me uncomfortable."
I also watched Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois.
The new CW show.
I've given up on DC, honestly. So
the show's actually really good. I think.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying I kind of given up.
I think you might like it because it's everyone was on that same level of like, I don't have any faith in this. What is this? And then the pilot is great.
See, look, here's my issue as of right now. There's only 2 episodes out, right? Or 3?
There's 2.
It could go downhill fast. You never know.
It very much could, and it probably will at some point.
Because out of all the DC characters, I'm a Superman fanboy. All right. If it goes downhill, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna make me sad. So
it'll at least. I'm hoping that at least the first season will be pretty solid. Because usually CW shows like after like the first or second season is when they kind of start to go downhill.
I may just wait until the first season's over and then watch that.
That'd probably be best.
Especially since we got some news on that later. I won't spoil the news.
Yeah.
That people probably already know.
But I also think that because HBO Max is involved with this show, and I think that they're kind of like, we're not going to let this be terrible because we want people to watch it.
Should, because they should. This is what their mindset should. This is what their mindset should be, though. It's like, okay, we don't have Game of Thrones anymore, so let's build the DC up, make some good shows out of that.
Yeah.
Even though we have like 30 CW shows.
I think because if you watch Superman and Lois, I think it's kind of a soft reboot.
It's not in the CW, right?
It's on CW.
But is it in that universe?
They haven't acknowledged any of the other CW stuff so far in the last 2 episodes, but there's only been 2. But I've heard that there's going to be like one of the characters that is going to show up at some point in the show. I think it is a part of the show, or is a part of that universe, but I think it's post-crisis, so everything's kind of different.
Oh.
So I think if it is a part of that universe, it's on another Earth or something. It hasn't really like delved deep into that, which I'm fine with because it's
leave it as its own thing.
It's kind of just its own thing, and I hope they kind of just leave it as its own thing, and just worry about the show because I think the show is actually really cool, and I think the story that they're doing is actually pretty fucking neat because it's like, oh, Superman's got to beat Paul Kent now to his own kids, and
yeah, I've heard the story isn't really Superman's story. I mean, Superman is part of it, but
I mean, it's more about the family.
Yeah,
it's Superman and Lois and his kids. There's not a whole lot of like Superman being Superman in it, but I'm fine with that.
Well, if I hear it continues to be good, I may watch the first season when it comes out.
So far, it's good,
and it's already been greenlit for season 2, apparently. So.
Oh yeah, definitely, because the pilot apparently is like, I think the most viewed pilot in CW history or something.
Well, probably because it's a Superman show,
or probably because it's good,
or that.
Because none of the other ones, nobody gave a fuck about anything else. So, because
people love Arrow.
People like Arrow, but Arrow got
and Flash.
Quick. Flash is goofy. Flash is a bunch of silly.
He's a giant monkey that fights a giant shark.
Gorilla Grodd is his name, and King Shark is his name.
I don't give two flying
show
fucks.
some fucking respect.
I don't give two flying fucks
to King of Ape City.
Until they show up in a movie, I won't know their names.
I don't think we'll ever see Gorilla Grodd in a movie.
Yeah, maybe if
we're gonna see King Shark.
If DC gets to the Marvel point, sometime we could possibly. So I never thought we'd see Ant-Man in a real movie, but we got Ant-Man in a real movie.
Yeah, but like Ant-Man's a little bit more marketable than a giant, evil, mind-controlling gorilla.
Sure.
Who is the king of
Don't
Ape
make
City.
him the main character.
You want to have Flash punch a gorilla in the face? That's animal abuse. Rest in peace, Harambe.
I'm still waiting for Beta Ray Bill, goddammit.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Put that man in a horse costume.
It's not going to be a horse costume.
Oh, do it. Get one of those Walmart horse masks and just do that.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Maybe Taika does the little play thing type thing and he puts
that would be great. That would be hilarious. I'd totally be okay with that. Do that.
I'd be pissed just because it's not actually Beta Ray Bill.
Because Beta Ray Bill's in the universe.
But I think it's hilarious.
Just do that. That'd be great.
Anyway, we're getting off topic. Anything else you watched that you wanted to talk about?
I watched the 1946 French Beauty and the Beast movie last night.
Any good?
It was great. It was fantastic.
Oh, really?
But most people probably won't watch it.
Is that open source too? Or is that Disney?
Beauty and the Beast is like a book.
But is it like... I
think you just got to get the rights to the book.
Oh, okay.
Because there's been several different...
I thought Disney just had everything.
No, Disney just made a version of it. But it was fucking great. It was really dark and it's all practical.
Oh yeah, because it was in the 40s.
Yeah, and it looks fucking amazing. It's got some gorgeous cinematography in it. It was really good. I enjoyed it. But most people probably won't watch it because it's French and it's black and white. So, but it was good.
Most people probably won't watch it because it was from the 40s.
Probably. Which is a damn shame.
Anything made before 1970 is...
Even like the 70s now is kind of like...
I don't know. You got Jaws and stuff. That was in the 70s.
How many kids are like, I want to watch Jaws?
I don't care. I don't care if my kids...
I'd say like 85 max.
I don't care if my kids are afraid of bumblebees. They're watching Jaws. You gotta watch.
What does bumblebees have to do with Jaws?
Just because that's not something that's not supposed to be that scary. Are you scared of bumblebees?
Bumblebees?
Yeah.
I'm not scared of them.
All right.
But how does that correlate with Jaws?
Because Jaws is a scary movie for a kid.
But I get that. But what does that have to do with fucking bumblebees?
Nothing. Bumblebees aren't scary. But if my kids are afraid of them because they're a bunch of pussies, they're watching Jaws.
So that's gonna harden them? Is that what you're saying?
I don't care what.
How are these fucking bumblebees connected to a shark?
The bumblebees had nothing to do with anything.
Then why did you bring them up?
It's just a metaphor for they're pussies because they're afraid of bumblebees.
If your kids are afraid of bumblebees, I'm gonna buy a bunch of bumblebees and I'm just gonna fucking.
Or if they're afraid of the deep end of the pool,
that's the metaphor that
they're watching Jaws
because it's related to water.
Pool though, there's nothing in it.
Doesn't matter. Tell them there's something in it.
There could be a bat in there.
They don't know if there's nothing.
If you lived in Florida, there could be a gator in there.
There is a gator in there if you live in Florida. There could be poop in it.
Did you know in Florida you have to have cages around your pool so gators don't get in your pool?
That makes sense. Yeah. Why would you want to live in Florida?
Because it's nice weather all the time.
Yeah, but there's gators everywhere.
And there's old people.
Gross.
And there's people who are terrible at driving in Florida. But you get the Florida Man news every day.
I don't know who that is.
Florida Man is everybody.
Florida Man?
Florida Man. You ever seen those news headlines?
Oh, where it says, Florida Man.
Florida Man, yeah. You get that every day because you're in Florida.
I guess. I wouldn't want to live there with all that shit going. Because that wouldn't be news to you then. That would just be everyday life.
Well, yeah.
It wouldn't be as exciting.
It would be exciting because it's every day.
No, because eventually you just get used to it and be like,
Florida Man sticks plunger up his ass.
No, That's his own personal business. They shouldn't be writing that in the paper.
He got it stuck, though, so they had to report on him.
Oh, god damn it, Billy.
God, Billy the Exterminator?
He's a neighbor.
You ever watch that show?
Billy the Exterminator?
Yeah.
That's a show?
It is.
You just made this up.
No, it's a show. He got canceled because he was on drugs. But
What? What is it? Was this on Discovery?
What
was this?
A&E? I think it was on A&E.
Oh, of course. Fucking A&E has this garbage television show.
It was just about a guy.
What the hell does A&E fucking show? Alright? Who sits down and is like, I'm going to sit down and watch some A&E?
It was just a show about a guy. He went to people's houses and got rid of animals.
That sounds like a terrible show.
It was kind of good.
Exterminate some bugs, and he just does.
I mean, he was afraid of spiders, which is he's got like the Indiana Jones syndrome or something. But
cool. I'd watch that show if he would like get in a bug's face and tell that bug to go fuck himself. Like, but if it's just him just squirting liquid everywhere, I'm gonna get rid of these
usually
bugs.
They showed like him catching like raccoons and snakes and. He caught an anaconda once.
So he's like the crocodile hunter.
Smaller scale, but yeah.
Pussy.
He gets bit by snakes a lot and stuff on that show.
Oh, yeah,
but he's canceled now because he was on drugs. And then they brought it back for a season, and then I think he got on drugs again, and they canceled it again.
Stop giving this man drug money.
So
that sounds exciting.
It's been a while. Have you ever seen River Monsters?
I know what it is. I've never seen it.
That's a good show. I like that show. It's about a British man just catching giant fish in rivers.
That sounds fun.
It is. He caught a catfish. It was like 300 pounds. It could eat somebody.
Catfish freak me out.
Why?
They just look funny, and I hate it. They look disgusting. You ever just look at a fucking catfish? They look terrifying.
Well, yeah, because they're catfish.
Yeah.
But they're like the cats of the sea.
I don't like cats.
Well, they're not in seas. They're in rivers. So they're cats. They're cats of the river.
I'll kick a catfish.
I caught a bull shark in a river.
Catfish are racist because they got Fu Manchus.
Oh, I don't think they choose to have that.
Cancel catfish. We'll get rid of it.
I don't think they don't have like razors in the.
We need to make fish razors.
Anyways, we're completely off topic. I don't know how we got to this point. Ready to get into the MC review or whatever.
MC review. WandaVision.
3 episodes.
7, 8, 9.
3. I was gonna say good. 3 good episodes. One really good episode. There's
one fantastic episode.
Some decent episodes.
And then I don't even remember what the hell was episode 7. That's the Modern Family thing. That one was okay, I guess.
Episode 7 has a good ending, right? If that's what I'm thinking.
The Agatha all along.
Oh no, I was thinking about 6 when Vision breaks out of the thing. Never mind. The Modern Family one, I like episode 7 only because we get sassy Vision a lot.
That was fucking great. I love that. I love that there's memes coming out about that now.
Yeah,
that stuff's great.
It's great. Paul Bettany is fantastic in this show.
He's so good. He's phenomenal.
Bring more Paul Bettany.
We're gonna get more Paul Bettany.
Bring him back. Do some more.
They will. They're not gonna squander his talent.
And then we get more Darcy in episode 7, I guess, and she's just
a little bit.
She's just sassy.
That's her.
And she's just like, oh, I'm tied up and I don't like you because you're weird looking, Vision, and whatever. And then Vision breaks her out of the mind control thing.
Yeah, then she just exposition dumps Vision. And then he's like, what?
I died twice?
A big grimace looking man fucking killed me? Holy shit. Which, how does Darcy know that?
I'm sure that's just news.
That's just common knowledge. Vision got the stone ripped out of his fucking head.
I'm sure that's in the history books in that
Kids are learning. That's some violent shit for these kids to be learning.
She was also in
some guy just got his brain ripped out.
She was also in the S.H.I.E.L.D. files before that, so she may have like read it or something. I don't know.
I guess
because I'm sure they're telling everybody, hey, Tony Stark saved the universe.
I would just say that Vision just exploded.
He died.
He died
twice.
He died in the battle. I wouldn't say, he got his fucking head ripped off.
He didn't. He got his forehead ripped.
He got his brain ripped out of his fucking skull. Like I wouldn't tell people that.
I mean, when they talk about Hitler dying, do they talk about his death?
No, because we don't know how he died.
All right, well, somebody else we know how he died.
Sure, I guess.
Gandhi.
Gandhi just died.
Ah, well. He lived.
Are we comparing Vision to Gandhi?
You know what? They're kind of similar.
No, they're not. No, they're not. One's a fictional robot man and one's a real person.
All right, you got me there. Vision isn't Gandhi, everybody. I'm sorry.
Vision's honestly more like Hitler. He was created to kill people. He chose not to, but that was his
I don't
intent.
think when Hitler was born, they were like, this guy, he's going to kill people.
We don't know that. We don't know.
I mean, maybe. Maybe his parents were just like, yes, murderer.
Maybe.
I doubt it.
Who were his parents? Let's interview his parents.
I'm sure they're dead.
Okay. Well, then we'll never know.
Hitler didn't have kids, did he?
I hope to God not. Who would want to fucking breed with that guy?
Imagine being Hitler's kid right now. You're just like, damn it. Like,
I don't think they care.
I'm sure they do a little bit.
Probably making money off of his name.
Do you make money off of that?
He's a historical figure.
He's,
if you put Hitler in anything ever, you got to get the rights to use Hitler.
He's one of world history's worst villains, also.
Hey, I don't care. If my dad was Thanos, but they were like, yo, we're going to make Thanos movies, I'd be like, all right, cool. Give me a check. I didn't know this asshole. I'm not him. Give me a check.
I don't think he had kids, though. I mean, maybe he did.
I don't think he did.
I don't know Hitler lore. It's not lore.
Hitler lore.
It's not lore. Lore's fake history.
Lore.
Isn't lore fake history, though?
It's just history.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was fake history.
It doesn't matter if it's real or fake.
How do we get on Hitler? We're talking about WandaVision.
You brought up Hitler.
No, you brought up Hitler.
You mentioned Hitler.
I said Gandhi. You said Hitler.
No, you brought up Hitler first, and then you switched it to Gandhi. Because you brought up, oh, we don't know how Hitler died or whatever. You brought that up, you fucking Nazi.
You did.
Re-roll the footage.
So, replay it.
Rewind.
Anyways, episode 7, nothing much really happened.
There wasn't a whole lot.
It was just a lot of sassy vision.
Monica went back into the hex.
Yeah, Monica went back into the hex.
Yeah.
I think Evan Peters doesn't even show up in that episode. He shows up at the end.
Credit scene.
Yeah.
Snooper's gonna snoop. Fucking A, I want a t-shirt of that. Snooper's gonna snoop.
That was about it.
Pretty much.
Wanda, the whole episode was Wanda was just like, oh, I can't control anything anymore, which never comes back into play again.
It doesn't, and it's kind of confusing because, I mean, I guess it's not that confusing. We'll talk about that later, I guess, because there might be an inconsistency with that later on, but I guess it makes sense because she expanded the thing. So
you think it just got overextended type?
Probably. That's probably what that meant, is that she was losing control of everything.
It's a possibility. And then episode 8 is one of your favorite episodes.
Episode 8 was fantastic. It's a lot of backstory, and it's a lot of, not necessarily exposition, but it is just kind of, hey, this is what happened with Wanda when she's growing up. She liked Dick Van Dyke and all that shit. But it was great, because it was all character stuff. It was all just, hey, we're going to tell you like who this character was, why they like the sitcom stuff. We're gonna build out Wanda a little bit more and her motives and why she does what she does. And that one scene from when Wanda leaves S.W.O.R.D. to when she goes to the house, the little plot, that's like a fucking awesome short film.
There's like no dialogue.
There's no dialogue for like 6 minutes, and it was really well done, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was so good.
There was a lot of emotion in episode 8.
It was a great episode.
It was really good.
The only flaw is that when her dad put Dick Van Dyke into the DVD player, it was not DVD quality. It was clearly a Blu-ray.
I'm sure people don't care about that.
They got everything else on point in the show. They got the period stuff right. Just get a DVD and just put it in the fucking thing.
Anyways,
fucked up.
This episode kind of hints towards Wanda maybe being a mutant.
Possibly. I think it's they kind of left it open-ended.
It is.
If they want to use that later.
Yeah, I think they did. But it was kind of like, okay, the Tony Stark missile, but okay, it wasn't Tony Stark's missile, but it was.
It's a Stark missile.
It was a Stark missile. They were like, well, why didn't it blow up? Because, that guy's known for, blowing up stuff. His bombs work. He's not Justin Hammer. And she just kind of, like, waves her hand.
Well, she kind of holds her
hand. Like, yeah. She, like, reaches
it's
out.
implied that, like, oh, she's the reason it didn't go off. But it's not ever like, oh, no, she's a mutant. It's kind of, like, implied.
Well, I don't know if you caught, but Agatha, when she was speaking to her after that, said she used a probability hex, which is her powers in the comics. Mm-hmm. Which is she the probability of something happening is even in the slightest she can manipulate that.
That's true, but Agatha wasn't there. She didn't know that.
No, she didn't know that.
I think Agatha's just assuming that's what happened.
Yeah. That's what she said.
So it's still kind of vague which I think they are going to lean a little bit more into that.
Also, I don't think her powers in the MCU are probability based because that's a stupid power, honestly.
Probability.
It's like, oh yeah, the probability of you flying is 0. You're not going to just start flying.
Yeah.
But she does it anyways, and they're just like, oh, magic. So
sorry, magic defies all logic.
I mean, in the comics, that's what they're. It's magic, but like, no, your powers are probability. Like, that's not how that works.
Because it's magic.
Anyways,
it's like Shazam.
Anyways, episode 8. I was fully expecting to see Aaron Taylor Johnson. We didn't.
That's such a missed opportunity that they didn't do that. I get it, I guess, but it's just like if you want to hammer home her loss and the emotion behind that and her motivations for doing what she's doing, it would have been kind of a nice thing to. I mean, there was like a flashback or something.
There was a lot of talk about him, and we saw the kid version of him.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see him again and go, oh fuck, like just to see him and feel that emotion and see Wanda in the present seeing her brother again.
But
that could have been fucking really cool.
But there was also Vision and her in the Avengers compound talking about his death. So I mean, like we got.
Yeah, his presence is around. His presence. It would have been nice to see him at least once.
I thought we were going to see him when she got in touch with the Mind Stone for the first time.
Why didn't they show it? That would have been the perfect place to put it.
Because they could have. Because what's weird is that everybody's just. I saw this online. People were like, "Well, how did he survive the Mind Stone?"
Yeah, is he also like a mutant or whatever?
My theory is that she somehow, because she did it first, obviously, because they were like, "Oh, everybody's died. He's done this before," and she
saved him.
My theory is like she kind of helped save him a little bit.
Possible.
I have no idea.
Would have been cool to have him in that scene.
I have no idea though. I like that scene also, where she gets.
That scene was cool.
I like that scene.
She sees the future or whatever.
I don't know if it's the future or if it's like her inner self or something.
The future, because they also hint in Thor Ragnarok that witches can see into the future.
In Ragnarok?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Remember, they're on the street. They're at the retirement home that's torn down.
Oh yeah.
Thor's like, "Oh, I thought you could see into the future." He's like, "I'm not a witch."
Oh or whatever.
Yeah. So they kind of imply that
it's witches. To quote,
why wasn't JB Smoove?
He was the cameo.
That would have been perfect. The hex goes down. He just runs down the street. It's witches.
Witches.
That would have been great. I would have loved it. This would have been a 10 out of 10 show for me if that happened. That would have been incredible.
Anyways, moving on to I guess the season finale, right? Or series finale.
Is that what we're talking about? We're not going to talk about one of the best scenes in any Marvel thing ever.
Which one?
What is grief if not love persevering?
Oh. Vision has the best dialogue.
Vision's so fucking good, man.
In this show,
he's so fucking fantastic.
He brings the emotion out of me, even though it shouldn't. Like that scene shouldn't have been sad to me, but it was just like, well,
it was so fuck
Vision.
And it's not even just that; it's that entire speech where he's talking about like, I don't know what loss is because I don't have anyone to lose. I don't know what having someone is like because it's just normal for me. So I don't really know what that feels like. I was like, this whole thing, this is so fucking interesting. And it's far more interesting than most of the stuff in the show. It's far more interesting than most of the action we get in Marvel movies and stuff. And it's just two characters sitting on a bed talking, watching Malcolm in the Middle.
The writers, at least through the first 8 episodes, they nailed the characters of Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, definitely.
Wanda's just going through pain, which I feel throughout most of the show. And then Vision is just this almost like Albert Einstein type figure of like wisdom.
And it's a testament to Paul Bettany's acting because in that scene, technically he's a different Vision than we've seen in the past 8 episodes.
And it felt like that.
And it felt like the original Vision.
And also Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen, honestly, they nailed every time the time period that they were supposed to be in.
Yeah, definitely.
Which, great on them. They're fantastic actors. I could not do that at all. I'm nowhere near that level.
It'd be hard because you got to play it just hammy enough without it being a parody. You have to still kind of be like restrained and be in the world and try to sell it, but you still have to kind of be a little heightened and goofy. And I thought they did it really well.
Yeah, some of the dialogue that Vision has, most of it honestly, is fantastic.
It's awesome
in this show, and even the series finale, he's got some good stuff.
Definitely.
Do you want to talk about the series finale?
We can. We have to.
I know, but do you want to say your thoughts on it?
I want to say to start off before because I have feelings about the finale.
Before, we did have an end credit scene for episode 8, and it was the White Vision.
Oh, yeah, we did. White Vision the Ghost.
The Ghost.
Which they don't call him that, but that's what he's called.
They don't even call him White Vision. He's just Vision.
He's just Vision.
Which is the real Vision. Because
Technically,
the one in the Hex isn't
it's
real.
his body.
Yeah, it's his in-game, or not in-game, his Infinity War body. It's been rebooted by Sword or whatever.
Yeah, which he looks cool as shit.
White Vision looks awesome.
White Vision looks scary as all hell.
Yeah.
But just before I go on my thoughts and opinions on the actual finale, I want to say that there's been this weird reaction to the finale that I don't know if I fully appreciate, where everyone who seems to love it has been blaming the fans who don't like it. They've been putting all the blame on them as if it's their fault the finale didn't live up to the hype. It's not the fans' fault that the show led them to a point where they created theories around the show, and then they were disappointed because the theories that the show kind of aided in the fans thinking of didn't happen. That's not the fans' fault.
Yeah, it's like that article I sent you of it's not fair to criticize the show for something it didn't promise. Like,
it's not, but at the same time, if the show is purposefully designed to make you ask questions, and then people start kind of forming, oh, this is probably what's going to happen. Oh, that's bleeding into this and whatever.
It's fine to have
that's
theories.
The whole point of doing that.
It's fine to have theories. It's just if they don't pan out to your liking, that doesn't mean that the show's bad.
Yeah, I agree. And most people who don't like the finale, that's not why they don't like the finale. But everyone's blaming them. Everyone's blaming the fans as if, oh, well, you're mad because it's not Mephisto. And it's like, I'm glad Mephisto wasn't in this fucking show.
That would have been
I'm glad that most of these theories didn't happen, because that would have completely taken everything out of what the show was actually meant to be. Doctor Strange showing up. I could see how they could make that work, but I feel like that would kind of feel out of place also. And like Mephisto had no right being in there. Nightmare had no right being in there. Like, I'm glad that none of that happened. My problems with the finale have to do with everything we saw in the finale and the show and how it ends the show and how it wraps everything up. I don't give a fuck if my theories happen or not, because most of them didn't. But I kind of figured as the show went along that none of my theories were really going to be answered anyway. So I was fine with that.
And do you want to state before, because I know you're not a big fan of this finale.
I'm not.
That you do like the rest of the show before this.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole concept that because you think an episode of a show is bad, that the whole that automatically means you hate the whole fucking show. That's not true at all. I think that the finale, was a big misstep, and I think they could have done a lot of it much better than they did. That doesn't take away the other 8 episodes that I enjoyed myself, that had genuine emotion and that had genuine, like, fantastic stuff in it that blew me away, that Marvel even attempted to do anything like this stuff. Because honestly, episode 8 of WandaVision didn't feel like a Marvel thing at all. It was very character driven and very personal, and it felt like I was watching a little like indie movie. And I was like, I appreciate the hell out of Marvel for at least attempting this, even if they fucked it up and it all sucked. I appreciate the fuck out of them for even trying to just make this small little character thing. I don't think they necessarily nailed it at the end. I don't think the ending necessarily like nailed everything and it all wrapped up in a great, nice little bow. But I still like the rest of the show. I still think the rest of the show is good. That's completely possible to do that.
I see what you're saying. And before I say anything about the series finale, I think it was fine. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's not like like, oh my god, I don't want to watch this ever again.
I've seen some people that are like,
it's bad.
I've seen some people like, it was garbage, and I've seen some people like, it was the best episode, and it was not.
Those are the two worst sides of the fan base.
And it's not. I don't think it was.
Sides.
I don't think it was either one of those.
No,
it's somewhere in the middle for me. Like you said, I'm not mad about any of the theories not panning out.
I don't care about it
because,
Well, I am mad about one, and we'll talk about it. Because it was a big missed.
I know which one you're talking about.
Stupid.
And I'll say my thing on that whenever we get to it. But I also really like this show. The whole thing.
It's a good show.
I just want to get this out of the way before, because we're probably going to poop on this episode, even though it's not a bad episode in my mind, but it's not a good episode either. It's just somewhere in between.
That's fine, but even if we liked this episode, it's okay to still criticize it and poop on it.
Yeah.
People for some reason think that if you like it, you gotta just love it.
Well, I know as soon as if we started criticizing this, people are gonna be like, oh, so you hated everything.
They're gonna do that anyway.
No.
I'm sure there's already someone like, oh, he hates fucking WandaVision. It sucks. Like, no,
there are people though that watch the first 2 episodes and are like, this isn't my thing. And I'm like, well, you didn't give it a chance. Like, you didn't even watch the rest of it. Yeah. So those are the people that are like, I don't get. You have no opinion that I care about because you didn't watch the show.
Well, I mean, if they didn't connect with the first 2 episodes and they just were like, this isn't my thing, whatever, that's fine. But if they go, the show's bad after watching the first episode. That's what a lot of people said. The show sucked. I watched the first 2 episodes. Well, you have no opinion that I care about because you didn't watch the show. Yeah, you haven't even. The story hasn't even started yet in the first 2 episodes. Like, that's like watching the first 2 episodes of Breaking Bad and being like, you know what, this show sucks. It's like, well, there's 4 other seasons that like you haven't even gotten into the story yet.
So, getting to the series finale, it starts off with just Wanda and Agatha just going at each other or whatever. It's kind of like, and Agatha in the previous episode name dropped her finally. Oh, she's the
Scarlet Witch. And it was like, oh shit, she finally got her name after 6 years or however long.
And she's got her kids like around the neck with a rope, which is,
that's very fucked up.
Child abuse, Marvel.
She's a villain.
I guess. Is she though?
It didn't seem in episode 8. It didn't seem like she was going to be a bad guy, but then the finale kind of just started off. She's like, I'm a bad guy.
Her whole motive is just like, I want your power.
Yeah, and I was like, that's really weird because the last episode clearly kind of the way she was talking about Wanda and her powers was like, your shit's dangerous. You need to be stopped. And then immediately after that, she was like, I want your powers. You're fucked.
I thought
that's a weird jump.
I thought she was going to try to be like a mentor type figure, and Wanda was going to be like, "Get out!" Like, I don't.
That's what she is in the comics.
Yeah. Like, hey, you're super powerful, and you're messing some stuff up, so I want to help you.
That would have been that would have been a nice little twist on the usual Marvel formula. But then nope, it's just she's a bad guy.
We didn't get that.
No.
And I gotta say, the Wanda versus Agatha stuff, really boring.
I didn't care about any of that. I was like, this is just 2 people throwing laser beams at each other. And I was like, I don't care about any of that stuff. Like, you made me... For one, that's not what the show was. The show was not an action show.
It wasn't, but we knew it had to come eventually because we knew that they had filmed
which is sad that, like, we have to expect that from everything Marvel does. But, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm going to go in expecting that because that's kind of what it seems like. It's going to be a little bit more...
Falcon and Winter Soldier would be a twist. There'll be no action.
That'd be awesome. But I'm expecting that one to have a little bit more action because I think that one's supposed to be kind of more of like an action thriller type of movie or show. This whole show for 8 episodes... was a character study on Wanda. And yeah, there was some little small bits of action here and there. But it wasn't, we gotta fucking fling each other into cars and have explosions and fling lasers at each other for 20 minutes. Like, that's not what the show was. So it's weird that all of a sudden, like the beginning of the episode, it just starts off and we're fighting. That's weird.
Also, I don't know if you felt that. I felt, for Wanda at least, there was no tension for a fight. That at all.
No, of course there wasn't.
I mean, I felt a little bit of tension for
Vision. Win.
For Vision?
The Vision fight, I don't think Vision should have fought, but I think his fight was kind of neat because it was cool to see both of them kind of outsmart each other. Like, even in the actual fight, because they were both, like, phasing through each other. Yes. And I was like, they're fucking evenly matched. And Vision realized that and then stopped and was like, wait a minute. You're technically the real Vision. And then the white Vision's like, hold on, what? Elaborate. And I was like, that's fucking cool. And then they just like they're using their minds against each other in a really fucking cool way. And I'm like, that's what you should have did in the show.
And I love the conversation about the ship of Prometheus because that's
awesome.
That's an awesome tale that every historian tells, and it's one of those thought projects. Just like, okay, what is the answer to it? There's no real.
And
answer.
It's a great analogy. It fits in with the show. It works with Vision's character because it's like, well, if technically, you're rebuilt, but you have different parts to rebuild you, are you technically the same thing? Are you a new thing? Like, what constitutes like the original? Like, what makes you essentially? And that was a really kind of interesting, thought-provoking thing for Marvel to do.
Because
it didn't fit with the rest of the episode.
It kind of felt like he was kind of saying, neither one of us are the real Vision.
Yeah, none of us are the original Vision. We're both.
But
like,
one is more
weird.
Vision than the other.
But yeah,
Obviously.
yeah.
And they have some good dialogue. It's a completely missed opportunity to not have him be Ultron. I'm a little
Yeah,
upset
that was
about
a little weird because especially if he starts off as a villain and he's like attacks Wanda and all that stuff, it would have been so cool. Because why wouldn't they get Ultron?
Right.
Like, you're telling me Ultron wouldn't come to S.W.O.R.D. and like try to manipulate them and be like, oh, put me in this robot suit, I'll help you out, and then just completely like they put him in, he just completely goes fuck you and leaves.
Right.
That would be awesome. And then Vision or Ultron's just out there fucking shit up in a Vision body. That's cool as shit.
The body he was trying to build.
Yeah,
in his
movie. Perfect body. He gets it now, and he's just out, and they got to stop. Like, that would be cool. They didn't do anything with that.
No,
that sucks.
I'm hoping they eventually bring Ultron back in Marvel some way.
So
I'm sure James Spader's not doing crap.
And also Vision, once they have that discussion and Vision gives him his memories back, he just pieces the fuck out.
Well,
he just leaves.
I don't remember. I watched somebody's podcast where they were talking about it. The reason he just kind of pieces out is because, yeah, he has all these memories, but he has no emotion attached to it.
That's fine. I understand that because Vision the Ghost is like the emotionless Vision in the comics. That's fine. But his programming and his whole goal for going into the Hex was to not only kill Vision, but I'm sure to bring down the Hex as well.
To take out Wanda.
Take out Wanda. And I would think now that you have all this new information, all these new memories and all this stuff, you could use that to your advantage. Get Wanda to take down the Hex and then just fly away. And all of this would be resolved.
But nah, he just pieces out.
Because you're a super smart, complex AI. But he just goes, I'm Vision, and then leaves. I'm like, that's okay. It's a little weird.
Yeah. And then in the middle of the episode, Agatha breaks everybody's mind control thing. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of a neat scene where everybody's just like, what you're doing is messed up. My kid's locked in the basement.
Cool scene. That was really fucked up.
My kid's locked in a basement. It's like, I'll tell my brother to never come back here and all that. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus.
That was really fucked up.
And Wanda kind of starts opening the Hex at that point, and
she lets them all go for a while. Then she kind of.
But she realizes when she's doing that her kids and Vision are like fading away, which I thought they were gonna do look like Thanos' snap. I thought that's what it was gonna look like.
Like it does, but no, it's like a digital thing.
Yeah, which that kind of would have been like traumatic for her to see again. That would have been. Well, I guess. Did she see that? Because I guess she did die too.
She got zapped. So
I don't know if she would have clicked in her brain for that. No. But she closes it back up again. But when it was open, the military people came in, and that was the last we saw of Jimmy Woo.
Which, by the way, Hayward,
complete dick.
For one, he's a dick. They made him a cartoony dick throughout the whole show. He gets arrested at the end.
Yeah.
Why? He's not in the wrong in this scenario. His entire goal in the show is we need to stop Wanda and we need to save
He did try to shoot some kids.
That are not real.
But he still tried to shoot some kids.
That are not real. And he didn't shoot them.
He also framed Wanda for stealing government property.
As far as I'm concerned, that's fine. Because she's holding everyone hostage. And it's like Nick Fury in Winter Soldier. When he's talking to Captain America about all these things that he's built, and Cap's like, what the fuck? This isn't cool. It's like, you're not going to arrest Nick Fury for that. That's how he thinks we need protection. It's about perspectives. Hayward's perspective is, yeah, I need to lie and manipulate some people in order to get the job done. But my ultimate goal is, we need to stop Wanda because she's doing dumb shit.
They arrested him because he stole Wakanda vibranium. In the Vision's body.
Did he steal that?
I don't know. How did they get Vision's body?
Yeah,
from Wakanda.
It was just chilling in Wakanda.
But like a U.S. government,
they just showed up. They knew he was there, and
took
they just
$3 billion worth of vibranium from Wakanda.
I would be questioning S.W.O.R.D. over Hayward for that because I don't think Hayward
he was the director.
Picked up Vision's body and hauled it away himself.
He was in charge of it. He was the director. So.
Okay, but no one else is responsible for any of that. The people who dissected Vision's body, they're not gonna hold any responsibility for that. That's great.
I don't know why he got arrested.
Because he's a bad guy now, I guess, which is a weird thing.
So Darcy shows up for one line.
And Darcy hits him with a car.
With one line.
And she's like, bitch, you got hit by a car.
And that's it. She doesn't show up ever.
There's no resolution. And that's also a problem, is that all of these side characters, Jimmy Woo, Darcy, Monica Rambeau, serve no purpose.
And they have no ending.
Because they had so much screen time throughout the rest of the series that I thought, like, oh, they're going to come into play. They're going to have a big, like, impact on the finale or whatever. But they don't. Like, you could argue that Jimmy Woo called in the SWAT or whatever for the end so they could arrest Hayward and all that stuff. Sure. Monica only got her powers in this so she could stop those bullets from hitting those kids, which probably wouldn't have done anything to those kids anyway because they got powers. So those kids probably could have stopped those. And then Darcy didn't need to be in the show for anything.
No.
You couldn't have got another... Like, all three of them could have just been morphed into one character.
Could have just been Jimmy Woo.
Could have just been Jimmy Woo. And we just focus on Jimmy Woo and the sword stuff. We didn't need all three of them because they didn't do anything and they didn't matter to the story.
Well, they had to set up Monica Rambeau for Captain Marvel 2.
That's... They didn't have to, for one.
Well,
I think that's weird that... They felt the need that, like, oh, we have to introduce this here and not in Captain Marvel 2 because it's not like it's not like she's a core character in the show. It's not about her. It's about Wanda and Vision. Her character should be introduced in Captain Marvel 2 because that's what that story is about. It's going to be about Monica Rambeau and
maybe it comes back into play in some other way.
I'm sure. No, it's going to come back. They're not just going to, like, oh, she's got powers, we just do nothing with it.
Well, I mean, like, her experience in the Hex. Maybe it comes back into play some other time.
It might, but this final episode felt very much like Mandalorian Season 2 for me a little bit, where it's like, we're going to just throw in characters, not because they matter to the story, but because we have to set up other things and other shows. And I'm like, we didn't need that. It's not like, oh, we need someone to watch Captain Marvel 2, so we got to plant the seeds. It's like, people are going to watch Captain Marvel 2.
It's not like Civil War, where Black Panther was introduced in that, but he also had a purpose.
Black Panther had an arc in that story, and there was a reason why he was in the story.
Right.
It wasn't just, I'm here, I'm doing shit. Like, he had a purpose, he had his own little arc from beginning to end, and he did stuff in the movie. This was weird because her powers didn't pay off in the end, other than, I guess, saving the kids. But again, they could have... Wiccan probably could have, like, did some shit and froze the bullets or whatever anyway.
And Speed could have pulled a Quicksilver moment.
Speed could have just, I don't know, ran because he's fast.
Yeah.
Dumb kid.
Speaking of Quicksilver, let's talk about what Evan Peters...
I've gotten in arguments about this already? Over with people about it. Because everyone...
It's only been like 2 days.
There's been people who seem to be totally fine with it, and I'm like, you fucking morons. Marvel duped us.
You got
Ralph. Treating
Ralph.
us like shit.
You got Ralph.
You got Ralph.
Or Bonard. You got Bonard.
You got Bonard would be the actual thing. Turns out Quicksilver is just some guy
named Ralph Boner.
And I'm like, this is what that reveal was leading to. A dick joke.
Which,
really?
In all fairness, that may not be his name. But as of right now, it is his name.
Why would they say that?
For a joke.
Cool.
Because Ralph Boner sounds like a made-up name, if you ask me. But as of right now, as it stands, he's just a guy named Ralph.
He's by the way, they remember in Iron Man 3 when they did that same twist and everyone hated it?
Mandalorian? Or not Mandalorian. The Mandarin?
Yeah. It kind of feels like Kevin Feige was like, oh, remember when everyone hated that thing? Let's just do it again.
Do it again. But with an even bigger character.
Yeah. And it's like, what? Like, who thought that was a good idea?
I mean, maybe they just assumed, like, hey, it's just a callback. That's all it's going to be. And they're like, let's just make a joke.
But see, that's the thing. They then can't say it's the fans' fault for assuming that had any bigger connection. Right. Because the casting of Evan Peters was a strategic move. If it wasn't meant to be that, they could have got anybody.
But, again... It could also be turned into he is the Fox.
They could easily, but then his whole role in the show was pointless because he didn't ultimately do anything. So again, he didn't need to be in the show.
Because, like, they rip off his necklace thing that he's being mind controlled with. And she goes, oh, hey, Ralph. And then we never see his reaction to that.
Yeah.
So maybe his name's not Ralph. Maybe Agatha made up this whole backstory for him. I don't fucking know. Maybe his name is Ralph. I don't know. Maybe this is the MCU's version of Evan Peters, and then the real Evan Peters from the Fox X-Men universe does show up.
That's fine, but then just do it. Just do it here. The opportunity you had the opportunity to do it here. The only reason they would now do that is because of the backlash, and because they want to please fans now. And it's like you could have did it, you could have did it well, or you could have just like said it was Quicksilver and this is just what Quicksilver looks like now and just not addressed it and like this is just him now because everyone likes Evan Peters better than Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Honestly, they should have just left it open ended if they didn't know what they were going to do.
That would have been the best thing to do because there's already stuff in the show that is open ended,
right?
Where we don't have answers. That would have been the smartest thing to do. Where it's like, oh, is he Quicksilver? And then if you see fans go, hey, we want it to be Quicksilver, then you can make it Quicksilver.
Because you could just have been like, we don't know his name. Ripped off his mind control thing, and just like in this episode, and we never see him again.
Yeah. But no, he's some guy.
Because if I don't know if when they were making this, it was a rights thing, because maybe they didn't have...
No, when they were making this, they had
like
Fox.
But like when they were like in the writing phase of it, I don't know if they didn't have... I don't know if it was a rights issue or not. I don't know if it was a contract thing with Evan Peters, because he was still doing Dark Phoenix or something at the time. I have no idea.
It's possible.
Because Dark Phoenix came out way after the merger happened and all that stuff. So
it did.
I have no idea. But if it wasn't that, they should have just left it open-ended. Because I don't know who thought it would be like, okay, this won't get backlash. Like, this will be...
No, someone in the writer's room thought that fucking joke would be hilarious.
And it would make up for everything.
Yeah, that's why they did it, because they were like, oh, people are going to love this. This is hilarious. And it's like, no, it's not. It's stupid. Marvel's so, like, they're forcing humor into this stuff so much that now they're resorting to dick jokes, like, seriously. That's where we're at now with Marvel, is we have to have humor in it, so we're just going to... What's next? Fart jokes? Are we going to get fart jokes in Thor 4?
I don't know.
That's awesome. That's great.
But yeah, that was the most disappointing thing from the episode, was that reveal.
That's like me casting Hugh Jackman in Spider-Man 4. And for most of that movie we're calling him Logan and he's dressed like Logan and at the end he just turns out to be some fuck. It's like you then can't put that on me for thinking that that's Logan when you told me that was Logan.
Right.
And you cast him that because you wanted me to think that was Logan.
You called him Wolverine, but that was just an alias.
Yeah. But you cast him as that because you wanted me to think that. Yeah. That's not my fault.
That was a direction fault, and whoever was in charge of doing that.
It was dumb.
That was bad. Anyways, moving on from that. What else happened? Where are we at in the series finale? I think we're just to the point where Agatha and Wanda are fighting because Vision's fucked off. So Agatha and Wanda are fighting. They're just shooting lightning bolts or whatever at each other, and Agatha's like slowly draining her life force or whatever.
I think it's supposed to be her
whatever it is. I don't know. Wanda's slowly dying, and then all of a sudden she sucks all the energy out of her, and Agatha's like, "Oh yes, I've won" or whatever, and then she can't use her magic, and it's like, "Oh shit, what happened?" And it turns out she put runes on the hex walls or whatever, and it's like, "Oh, you can't use your magic here because that was a setup in episode 8." And I'm sure somebody forgot about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember."
Yeah,
and that's basically how it ends. She just uses all her powers to...
and then she gets her outfit.
Which is dope.
It looks really cool.
It's amazing.
It looks way better than...
Should have been an Infinity War and Endgame, because her outfit in those looked stupid, but...
Yeah, she didn't really have an outfit.
She just had like a coat.
I got a jacket.
But that outfit is dope.
It looked really cool.
Yeah.
And then fucking Wanda, like, she closes everything. And then she does something really weird, which I don't understand. She like puts her hood up and she's walking past all of the residents of Westview, not acknowledging them, basically just telling them to go fuck themselves. And then she walks over to Monica and says, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
She's not going to tell the people that she's been torturing for weeks that she's sorry. She's going to tell them why. And then Monica just lets her go. She's like, "It's cool." I'm like, what?
Stuff happens.
Monica's whole thing. She was working with Sword. Her whole thing was trying to stop Wanda from doing all this. That was the whole driving force of Sword, was getting in there, figuring out what was going on, and stopping Wanda from doing this.
They let her off way too easy. I completely agree with that.
And it's like, you can have a character feel some sort of remorse for what they're doing, but when you have it to the point where she's torturing children, she needs to have some consequence for that. You don't just go, oh, it's fine, and then let her go. Because now basically what you're saying is that everything she did was fine. And we should just forgive her and ignore it. It's like, no, she might not have meant to do it. She might have done some of this stuff on accident, but she still did it.
Yeah.
And she needs to face some kind
Which
of consequences.
Which I hope it comes into play in Doctor Strange 2. So I have no idea.
It might at some point.
But she definitely got off way too easy on that.
Yeah.
And it did kind of make me mad. It's like, okay, so she's not a villain or whatever.
It's the ending wasn't clear. I think maybe I don't think they're gonna make her a villain. I think they're gonna make her kind of an anti-hero where there's a kind of a gray area. Because I think when she is gonna show up in Doctor Strange 2, I think there is going to be kind of a brawl between them.
You think it's gonna be like what we were talking about the other day? Like Doctor Strange's like, wait, what you did over there, that was messed up, and you can't just like be walking around.
She's gonna tell him to fuck himself or whatever.
But
I think
something bigger is gonna happen in Doctor Strange 2.
I think
I need your help.
By the end, they're gonna team up and they gotta go stop this thing. I think that's what's gonna happen. And then at the end, she might not still be like a good guy, but it's gonna be they're gonna treat her in like a gray area from here on out.
Yeah.
And also, it's played up to be this like big deal when Wanda closes the hex that she's losing her kids and she's losing Vision again and all that stuff. But then in the after credit scene, it's kind of implied that she's gonna get her kids back. So then Wanda didn't have to sacrifice anything then. Because Vision's back now.
The White Vision, yeah.
He might be like emotionless, but he's back, which was the entire reason for Wanda doing this in the first place. He's back now. So
which she doesn't technically know that yet.
She doesn't. But again, that's weird that he didn't he's not gonna see, emotions aside, he's not gonna come up and be like, hey, I remember everything that we did. He's just not gonna say anything to her? That's weird.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll have some sort of connection again.
Yeah, later on. They should have did it here.
I fully expected the kids to come back, though, because I know they're setting up for a Young Avengers thing, and they definitely want those kids to be in it. They're most definitely setting that up. So
no, yeah, they're gonna bring those kids back. But then it's just like, all right, so Wanda didn't have to. She didn't learn a lesson at the end of the show. Because when she closes the hex, the lesson is supposed to be.
We knew that already though, because she said she was sorry, so she didn't learn nothing.
Well, this was before she said sorry, but like. The whole message of the show is to be like, yeah, these people are gone. Like, you can't. There's no bringing them back. Like, yeah, it sucks. They're gone, but you have to accept that and move on with your life and create your own happy memories. And you have to not forget about them.
I mean, her vision might be gone. We don't know if that. I mean, the White Vision's around, but that vision that
sure
might be gone.
But even then, it's like that's the whole point of the show is getting over grief and overcoming that. And learning to accept that, hey, sometimes people
maybe that's the conflict in Doctor Strange too. She brings her kids back, and Doctor Strange's like, "Look, these kids aren't real. Like, you can't have them just farting around in this universe. Like, it's messing some things up. That could be what it is. I don't know.
It might be. I don't know. But it's just weird that like she didn't learn a lesson. She got off scot-free. There's so many things in here that are just setting up for other things, and it's like, worry about this show. I'm tired of all these Marvel things. Like, that's what the post-credit scenes are for. That is the entire purpose of the post-credit scene.
That was a post-credit scene,
stuff.
To
that
one
was.
To be fair,
but like the Vision thing, just leaving and like, we're just not gonna learn what happened to him until something else. Like, when you have something, when people have been watching something for 8 weeks, we want a resolution of everything. We want everything to be wrapped up.
It almost felt like there needed to be a 10th episode that was just an epilogue. Honestly,
I mean or they could have just made this episode an hour.
It was an hour.
It was like 45, 50 minutes.
It was 50 minutes.
Make it like an hour and 10 minutes. Like, what? It's weird that Marvel has these like weird mandates on their shows. No one's stopping them.
Is that Marvel or is that Disney Plus?
Or it's Disney, but like no one's stopping them. If they said, hey, look, we're gonna make this episode an hour and a half, who's gonna complain about that? All right, cool. We're getting a longer episode. Cool. Everyone would love that. And then you'd have time to flesh some of this stuff out. You'd have time to kind of live in this world a little bit more. You could have more scenes with Wanda and Vision, and you could just stretch everything out so it doesn't feel rushed. Flesh out some of these ideas, and boom, there you go.
But yeah, that was I do want to say real quick though, I did like some of the dialogue when Vision and Wanda were talking when the hex was closing. I like some of that stuff.
That stuff was fine. That was fine.
Mainly, I like all Vision stuff.
That was okay. I didn't feel much emotion when he died because I was like, I know it's a different Vision, but Vision's back essentially.
Yeah, but that Vision died. The one in the show that you've been following the whole time.
Sure, but it's not the Vision that she originally fell in love with.
Well, we knew that. Maybe, kind of.
Well, it's not, because she created him.
But, like, when we were watching the show, we kind of maybe knew that.
Well, yeah. But it's like the Vision you fell in love with is just out there now. He's just farting around. Go find him.
The Vision she fell in love with is probably most likely gone forever.
Well, but see, that goes into the whole Prometheus thing, where it's like he's got the body of the original Vision somewhat. I'm sure there's some enhancements and stuff in there, and he's got all the memories back. What constitutes Vision being back at that point? Like it's if we're breaking down like technicality wise, it's Vision.
In technicality,
he's got all the memories and the body of Vision,
but he doesn't know that like any of this. He knows what happened, but like he wasn't.
Yeah, he doesn't know what happened.
He wasn't there in the Hex and in the previous Vision's life. He technically kind of wasn't. It's kind of like
he was there. The memories were locked away.
I know, but it's kind of like watching a movie. Like you're not in the movie. You're not there. You've seen it. You've seen what happens, but you weren't there to experience.
Sure, I could see that. But it's like, why she's not gonna like. It's just weird that they're not gonna have any kind of conversation. She's not gonna go find that Vision.
I'm sure they will eventually
do whatever. That's weird to have in another thing, because this entire show was supposed to be about Wanda and Vision. Have that be in this show that you've set up for 8 weeks.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But that was basically everything in the series. The series finale. There's no season 2.
Yeah, it was a miniseries.
So it doesn't make sense to have a season 2 also.
Yeah, that's not... They've always said that there was always going to be one season. I think most of these Marvel shows are going to be one season.
Yeah, I think they said Loki might be 1 or 2. Might be 2. But
I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck that show is.
It's just him hopping around the multiverse.
That's awesome. That needs to be one season. There are 2 seasons of that.
I mean, if you got more ideas, why not?
That's gonna get old fast.
So, this show... also kind of like breaks this, okay, how much multiverse are we actually getting in this?
Yeah, there wasn't really any multiverse.
There wasn't any.
Which is a little weird.
It wasn't anything. Which, I mean, we know we're getting in Doctor Strange 2 because it's literally in the title. Mm. But, like, are we actually getting the Sam Raimi Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man?
If we see Sam Raimi Spider-Man...
and it's some guy,
it's going to be... No, if we see Sam Raimi Spider-Man, it's going to be in Doctor Strange as a cameo.
You think so? You don't think he'll be in Spider-Man 3?
After what happened in WandaVision, I don't think.
I mean, all cards are off the table at this point. Anything could fucking happen. I don't know.
Anything's possible, but they're not gonna.
He could show up as Uncle Ben
because Spider-Man 3 is before Doctor Strange 2, right?
Yes, it comes out in December.
They're not gonna open the multiverse in Spider-Man 3. That's not gonna be the point where the multiverse is broken. It's gonna be in Doctor Strange 2.
But if it's, I mean, I could see where, because they've kind of said like, hey. All these characters that might be in Spider-Man 3 are barely in it. Maybe it's at the end, a post-credit thing? I don't know.
Maybe a post-credit thing. That could be like... That would be the only time I could see that actually happening. If like Doctor Strange comes through the thing and is like, hey, I fucked something up and I open a weird portal and then everybody just steps out.
Honestly, I would be okay with it not being a Spider-Verse thing because I'm interested also in the cliffhanger they left in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I think that's far more interesting than a Spider-Verse thing. Plus, we've already seen Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
So we don't need another one.
But there are going to be fans out there that are going to be pissed.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's going to be pissed. I really don't think a lot of that stuff happening.
Which, in all fairness, Marvel hasn't said shit about Spider-Verse. It's everybody else.
It's all been fans.
And so
there's been some casting, like official casting. Like, was Alfred Molina ever officially cast?
Yes, Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx are officially cast.
Yeah,
and then
which they could just be doing what they did with Jameson.
Yeah,
and just it's a different.
It's this universe,
different whatever, but there's the same actors coming back, which is probably what they're doing.
And then I'm pretty sure that like William Dafoe was like almost confirmed, if anything, because I think he was seen on set. But nobody else has been seen on set. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, none of them have been seen on set, which everybody's like, oh, they were just shot in a studio, which is a possibility if they're in the movie. I'm sure they would shoot them in a studio so nobody gets set photos of them. But
no one... There were leaks of Evan Peters' Quicksilver. People like on set, like taking photos. Like no one in that set... If Tobey Maguire stepped foot anywhere in a Spider-Man costume, someone snapping a fucking photo.
It could have been a closed set. Yeah, I don't know. Could have been just the director and the actors.
Kevin Feige snapping a photo of that shit, and he's gonna leak it and pretend like it wasn't him.
I don't know. Until I see a trailer that has them in it, to me, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Or if I see a set picture or something, to me, it's not happening.
Yeah. I don't think it is happening. If it is happening, it'll be post-credit scene. But I think to open the multiverse like that in a Spider-Man movie is kind of weird. That's where it starts as a Spider-Man movie.
I can see it being a post-credit scene, though, to set up for Doctor Strange 2, because Doctor Strange 2 is the next movie after Spider-Man 3. I can see that happening.
Sure. I could see, like, Doctor Strange shows up in the post-credit scene, and then he's, like, fucking around with magic, and then he opens some weird fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then I guess Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire would show up, and they'd be like, hey.
Well, it could be Tom Holland's farting around, and he runs into them. And then we see like in the background, Doctor Strange's Sanctorum or whatever is like exploding or something. You know,
it's possible.
You can see
that's very possible. That might be what they do. I don't know.
But until I see either the movie or a trailer that has them in it, it's not happening to me. In my mind, it's not happening because a lot of people are saying maybe Marvel sent out a bunch of fake information to people to try to figure out who was leaking stuff.
It's possible.
And all these leakers send them to their sources, and people are spreading the news and all that stuff.
It's like that Jennifer Lawrence news where she's like, "Oh, maybe she's gonna be Invisible Woman." I don't think that's happening.
No,
there's no fucking way that's happening. Remember how she just stopped caring about being Mystique?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. She'd probably do the same thing as Invisible Woman. After like 2 movies, she'd just be like, "All right."
And people were also saying, "Well, she's coming back as Mystique." Hell, fucking no, she's not.
They're not gonna do anything with Jennifer. Jennifer Lawrence isn't even like the big thing anymore. That's not a selling point of a movie.
Even then, she has said
multiple
multiple times that she hates being in that makeup.
Yeah, she's not gonna.
No, she's not coming back. Even for the MCU, I'm sure she doesn't care.
I don't think she gives a fuck.
So yeah, WandaVision, good show, bad ending.
It's a good show. The overall show is fine. I like the show. I'm gonna repeat it. I like the show. The finale was bad, and that's fine.
That doesn't
because I like the show.
That doesn't ruin the 6 hours that came.
It doesn't ruin the other. It doesn't ruin the watching it week to week and theorizing and loving it.
That was really
that's
fun.
Part of the fun. Yeah, that was great. It doesn't ruin that. It could have, because there have been endings of shows where you're just like you just fucked everything up.
Well, but it wasn't. The ending of the show wasn't bad enough where I'm like it ruined.
No, it didn't. It didn't ruin the whole thing. Where I'm like I never want to watch this ever again. Like I'm definitely gonna go back and watch specific episodes of WandaVision. Like the first 2-3 episodes I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch episode 8 again. Like they're still really good. It didn't Mandalorian it for me where I'm like I'm done with all this fucking shit.
Which are you glad there was no secret cameo?
I am ecstatic there wasn't a secret cameo.
No, Patrick
I find
Stewart?
it hilarious that Paul Bettany was talking about himself.
Yeah,
I think that's far funnier than them squeezing a boner joke. That's because that is exactly we all should have known that. That he was talking about something.
Because I've gone back and re-listened to him saying it. I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense.
It makes perfect sense. He's that sneaky British humor that he fucking has. I thought that was hilarious.
That was great. I know a lot of people are mad. Like, you didn't put Patrick Stewart in there.
Patrick Stewart didn't need to be in this.
You didn't put Benedict Cumberbatch in
Patrick Stewart, anyone from any previous Marvel movie who had an ending would have ruined. It would have ruined it in this. Like, bringing back Hugh Jackman would have ruined Logan. Bringing back Patrick Stewart would have ruined
Logan
because they both had great endings. Like Ian McKellen was like the only person I could see them bringing back because he never really got an ending.
What about Fassbender?
Fassbender possibly. Those two, yeah, I could see them coming back. One of those two or both. Who the fuck knows? Because they never really had like endings.
Or what if it was Benedict Cumberbatch?
That one, I would have been okay with that too if they worked it in somehow. But even then, I feel like that would be kind of distracting, and that would be kind of the same problem I had with like
The Mandalorian,
Monica Rambeau, or not even so much The Mandalorian.
Because I feel like if he did show up, he would have been there to try to save.
If they did that, yes. But if he just shows up at the end, just like in a post-credit scene or something, I would have been a little bit okay with that, just because it's setting up for other stuff.
Yeah.
But if he showed up like a Luke Skywalker, just did everyone's job for them, yeah, I would have been pissed.
Yeah, that would have been stupid.
That would have been so.
The only character we talked about this the other day. The only character that would have, I think, was a missed opportunity to not have was Hawkeye. I think that would have worked.
That would have been great because Hawkeye is someone who
has a relationship with Wanda.
Who actually would have mattered to Wanda. who's still around, by the way.
Yeah, he's still alive somewhere.
Yeah. He should have showed up and been like,
and
hey, stop.
You could have also tied that into his show that's coming up also.
You could have.
But that was the only character I'm like... But he's also not a Luke Skywalker level cameo that they were...
Yeah, I never expected, because I was like, who the fuck
right. In Marvel
is up to snuff to Luke Skywalker? Like, there's nobody that big.
The only person it could have been was Robert Downey Jr., and he's dead.
And he's not coming back.
Right. He's not anytime soon.
Yeah.
So,
like, I knew that was probably bullshit, or someone misspoke, or someone said something. And
well, because they also were hyping up the engineer, and she turned out to be nobody also.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's nobody.
Because everybody's like, oh, it's John Krasinski.
All she said was, oh, I know someone. And then everyone was like, fuck, it's Reed Richards. I was like, how did you get that from that? How does that make any sense?
You're pulling on strings
You're pulling massive strings out of nowhere.
Speaking of which, we forgot to talk about the other post-credit scene. The
scrolls. Oh, man, that post-credit scene was so good.
It was useless. You didn't need it.
It was pointless.
You didn't need it. I'm guessing she's talking about Nick Fury. Could be Ben
She's talking about the dude upstairs in the movie.
She could be talking about Jesus. I don't know.
Big man wants to see you. Am I dead?
So yeah, you're gonna be.
that would have been hilarious. It's like, well, not now, but in like 20 seconds, and then he snaps her back. That would have been hilarious.
Pull a Superman on your ass.
Fucking A. I zotted your ass.
So yeah, that was WandaVision. You ready to get into movie news though? Because we've been talking about this for like 45 minutes.
Holy shit. Have we?
I don't know. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, so
holy fuck.
It might have been.
We need to get into movie news. Let's get into the movie news. I have some movie news. There hasn't been a whole lot over the past 3 weeks, which is surprising. I also forgot to mention that I watched Sonic the Hedgehog. It was bad. That's all I want to talk about it. It was stupid. Speaking of stupid, that was not intentional. That was not like, I didn't bring that up to segue into something.
I think you did. I think you did.
Because I saw a picture of Sonic on my phone and I was like,
no, I think you...
I'm not that smart.
I think you planned it out.
District 9 or District 10 script.
Yes, I had that on my thing before I deleted my news.
Developed.
It's too late.
It's far too late. It's so
way too late. This would have come out 10 years ago, maybe.
Well, in District 9, Christopher says, like, I'll be back in like 10 years or whatever.
I don't care.
But that was like 5 years ago. And it's like, if that came out then, people would have been fucking, holy shit, this is happening now, holy fuck. And also, Neil Blomkamp's made 2 really bad movies since then. And I think Neil Blomkamp might have been a one-hit wonder with District 9. So I'm kind of worried about District 10, that it might be stupid poo-poo nonsense.
It can come out, but that doesn't mean I'm going to watch it.
I'll definitely watch it, because I love the first one, and I'd be curious on what he does. But if this movie comes out and it sucks, I don't have faith for Neil Blomkamp in the future.
Is he going to turn into a Shyamalan type, where he just never works ever again type thing?
He might still work. He might still do stuff, because I know he does like short films and stuff for companies and stuff. But I don't know if no one's going to give him money to do a big budget feature.
Does anybody care about District 9 anymore, though?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Besides people like you and stuff like that.
At the time, people gave a fuck.
At the time, it's been 15 years or whatever that movie came out.
It's been a long time. It came out in 2008, I think.
It's almost been 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I don't think anyone cares now.
If this movie would have come
out...
out...
Avatar. Nobody cares about Avatar anymore.
Nobody cares about Avatar, but they're making 4 more.
Yeah, that's great.
Fuck you, James Cameron.
That's a smart idea.
Fuck you, Disney.
I hope James Cameron dies before those come out.
No, he's not. It doesn't matter. Somebody's going to continue doing it.
No one's going to release those fucking things.
They should just make 1 more.
No,
and then let it bomb and die like it should.
It will.
Watch. If the second one makes money, I'm going to be surprised as hell.
It'll make like $2.
No, if it even makes $1 billion, I will be surprised.
I would be too. I'd be shocked.
But maybe there's that much fan service for.
I don't think there is. Even people who like Avatar, like, no one's thought about Avatar. Like, even if you like the movie, no one's like just been sitting in the room like, oh, remember that cool scene in Avatar? Like, no one does that. Because there is no cool scene in Avatar, because the story of Avatar fucking sucks.
Which is funny, because compared to all the other top grossing movies of all time, that's the one people are like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like Titanic, Infinity War, Endgame, people are going to talk about those for a lot. Jurassic Park, Star Wars, people are going to talk about those. Nobody's going to talk about Avatar.
Because Avatar only got a fucking bajillion dollars because of the effects.
Yeah. And it was in theaters for like 2 years.
Oh, yeah. So long. But yeah, I think this is going to have an Avatar 2 effect, where it's like, does anybody care? Like, I don't...
Honestly, District 9 is such a good movie, it doesn't even need a sequel.
District 9's great, and yeah, just leave it alone. You had an opportunity to do a sequel 4 years ago, and you didn't.
Right.
And honestly, like, I don't want them to fuck with that ending, because that ending is really, like, sad and beautiful.
Yeah.
And they should just leave it alone. Don't touch it.
It's one of those things where you can just make your own theories about what happened.
Or just, that's the end, and that's the story.
You can also make your own theory.
You could.
Or that's the end. The aliens never come back, and he's just an alien forever.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the plot, like, is already kind of... Like, we already kind of know the plot of the sequel. The aliens are going to come back, and they're going to fix them.
What if they don't? What if they're just like, well, you're fucked?
I mean, that'd be neat, but then it's like, why did you come back in the first place?
Just to tell you, you're fucked.
You didn't have to tell me that. You could have sent me an email.
I realized that when you were 5 years late.
Yeah,
damn it.
It's been 6 years. All right? So it's like, we kind of already know like what's going to happen. And that's not really exciting. I don't really give a shit.
I don't know. If anything, they should just make like a short film for if they were going to make a sequel or something.
Sure, make a comic book.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there is a comic book somewhere out there.
Well, then that's the sequel. You should leave it alone.
It's not canon.
I don't.
It's like Star Wars. It's not canon.
All right, sure. Speaking of not canon, we got a Mortal Kombat trailer.
Did we?
We did.
I didn't want to.
It was fine. It was okay.
It's better than. Does it look better than the other Mortal Kombat movie?
The first Mortal Kombat movie is fine. I don't hate the first Mortal Kombat movie. It looks better than Annihilation.
I've seen that one.
The Room looks better than Annihilation. Mm-hmm. Annihilation is one of the worst films ever made.
I've seen that movie. We watched it together.
I showed it to you for some reason.
Yeah, but I didn't watch the other one.
The other one's fine. It's not great, but it's for the time. It's fine. This one, I've heard like the director's been talking about it. He's like, we are going to see fatalities. It is going to be fucked up and brutal.
Good. Rip somebody's head off.
They didn't show any of the fatalities in the trailer.
Yeah,
they will. We will get a Red Band trailer where they show some of the fatalities.
You think so?
They want people to see this movie.
Right.
They're going to show at least a couple.
I believe it when I see it.
I hope they don't do that. Because it's kind of like when the games come out and they show them, they have like separate trailers for all the fatalities. I'm like, why the fuck would you want to see that? Part of the fun of playing the game is finding out what the fatalities are. So it's like, I kind of like don't want to see them in the movie until I see the movie. But it looks fine. Scorpion and Sub-Zero look cool as shit. That guy that plays a fucking samurai in every goddamn movie. He was in the Wolverine. He was in In-Game.
That guy.
he literally plays a samurai in everything. He's in it. He's playing.
Maybe that's his job in real life. Maybe he's a samurai.
I'm sure he's a skilled fighter in some way because he knows how to fucking wield a samurai sword. But it's like, can this guy get other roles other than like?
Maybe that's in his contract. Like, I have to be a samurai.
I mean, maybe he likes doing it. He was in Life, that shitty Ryan Reynolds movie, but he died in like 5 minutes.
Was he?
Yeah, he was one of the scientist people. He died like pretty.
I try to push that movie out of my head as much as possible.
That's like the only time I've ever seen him play anything other than samurai. But he's playing Scorpion, which I'm like, fucking A, that's awesome. It seems like a fun movie.
I totally forgot it was coming out, honestly.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of did for a little bit.
I forgot a lot of movies that are coming out. Like Black Widow comes out in like a month.
Does it?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about Black Widow.
Anyway,
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Moving on.
There is reportedly a Last Airbender animated film coming to Paramount Plus by the original creators.
Yes, I have actually more news on top of that.
Oh shit!
We're getting a Avatar cinematic universe.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard there's like an Avatar studio.
With shows and movies.
Which it's like that's an interesting idea because there is lore.
Yeah.
In Avatar that you could play with. I haven't seen Legend of Korra, but I've heard it's bad.
It's not good.
So if it's anything like Legend of Korra, I don't want this.
If you ask anybody who likes Legend of Korra, they would just be like, yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as Avatar. It's like, well
yeah, there's no... They're not going to...
Nothing's topping that.
They're not going to get that again. They peaked hard with that shit. I'd be fine with, like, a movie with Aang and Sokka and Katara, like,
as
older.
Adults.
Yeah, do something like that.
Do that.
That'd be fucking cool.
Do you think we need a cinematic universe?
No, we don't need any of this. We didn't need Legend of Korra, but they want to milk this franchise as long as they can.
They could go 100 years in the past. Who knows? Do an Avatar back then.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's one of the main problems with Legend of Korra is that it's a little too modern.
Right.
That it kind of feels like it's not modern day, but it kind of feels that way.
And it's only been like 30 years in the future. Like you
ruined
all your future stuff by doing that.
Yeah.
Because now you can't go further into the future and be like, oh, well, now it's back into the samurai age or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, no, you're in modern times already.
Further back.
Yeah, you have to go back now to go back into that era. Because I think a lot of people don't like that setting. That's my big reason.
It's a weird setting.
I hate that setting of Korra.
It's like 1950s, like
yeah. I'm just like this isn't
weird.
This isn't what Avatar is to me.
It's
so
weird.
That's why I didn't like it. It's just a weird setting.
It is very weird.
I mean, I guess you could do like, oh, it's apocalyptic setting after that. I don't know.
Don't do that.
But I like the setting and the feel of the first.
There's like 100 Avatar that came before Aang.
Yeah.
Just get one of those fucks and do something about that.
I heard they were wanting to do a series on the very first Avatar, which could be interesting.
That could be neat.
They kind of touch on that in Korra, but you could do.
Just don't make. Here's how you can please everyone. Don't make Korra canon.
Oh, they're gonna pull a Star Wars like all the prequels and the sequels. They're canon. We just gotta work around it.
Or you could just not make it canon. Don't have to work around anything.
I mean, technically, those guys didn't make that show. The main creator guys. They kind of like they made some of it, but then they passed it on to somebody else. So they could.
Oh well, then just don't make it canon.
Yeah, they could just be like, yeah,
it's like fuck this. That didn't make this.
We didn't make this.
Didn't happen. Fuck all that noise because nobody liked it.
Because they had creative differences with the studio that was making it, and they were like, well, fuck you, we'll just make it without.
I'm sure they had a lot of creative differences with that show.
Which is the same reason why they dropped out of the Netflix movie or show, whatever they're doing. Because they're like, oh, we have creative differences.
Yeah, it's like, just let the people who made the thing
do
whatever they want to do. They clearly have an idea of what they're doing.
They made 4 good seasons, or 3 good seasons of a show.
3 great seasons of a show. That show, the Last Airbender, was awesome.
Right. So
it's like, no, we're just not going to listen to you.
It's like, well, all right, fuck you. And then
fuck you. I'll make my own
We'll leave. And then look what happened. You made 3 more seasons of another show, and it was garbage.
Well, Legend of Korra has like 5 seasons.
No, I think it's 4. I think it's 4 seasons.
That's too many.
Yeah, no. It's got weird premises in it. It's just stupid. Because she's in season 1, she's already mastered 3 of the elements. So it's like, okay, what the fuck is this show about?
That's a trend though with female characters in movies now that I don't really understand. Is that like they're just kind of given stuff. They're just given their abilities and whatever, and then they don't have to like learn anything else. Like that show starts off, she's already this like super powerful person, and she's just like, oh, this is me, blah. And it's like Aang, the whole show was him not only struggling with being the Avatar because he's 12, and he's got this huge weight put upon him that he's got to be this thing that saves everyone. He's 12.
Yeah.
But also learning the elements, and we're on a clock. We have to learn this shit now.
Yeah.
Or we're fucked.
She's not on a clock.
She doesn't have any kind of struggle or anything.
No.
She's just given the shit, and then she's like, oh, I'm an Avatar. It sucks, but I'm like,
fuck you. She just deals with being the Avatar throughout
and
the
she's
show.
like a lesbian or some shit, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
This is weird. Who cares?
It's important.
And she dies in the Avatar state, which kills off all the previous Avatars. Well, it's just like, well, fuck, you just killed the entire history.
Yeah, so basically, the last show that we like, all of that lore and everything you built up is meaningless. It's pointless.
Because they wanted to restart. Because when you do that, you can
they
just
put a
start
Flashpoint.
Yeah, I guess.
That's awesome.
I kind of hope now that you say it, that those guys just be like, yeah, that's not canon. That didn't happen.
They might. And whether they say it or not, they're not going to treat it as canon.
Also, they ruined Aang's character. He's like a deadbeat dad in that show.
Yeah, I noticed that. It was very weird. I was like, all right,
oh yeah, Aang grows up to be this asshole of a dad. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. After that whole show I watched, that makes total sense. And Katara didn't go and whip his ass for that. That makes
no. He's just a deadbeat because he's a man. And
that makes sense.
Deadbeats.
I don't think they mentioned Sokka, I think, at all.
I don't think they do.
Zuko's still alive in that show. They kind of were going to do an interesting plot where he started to become bad again as the Fire Lord, but then they just like, well, he's fine.
What, Devin? Why do something interesting when you could just not do anything at all?
I don't know. Most of the show is about racism, which is weird. The racism is normal people don't like benders, so they're like.
I mean, that's kind of what the original show had.
But no,
the show wasn't about that. But that was like.
No, this is what the show is about. Like, there's people that want to take the bending away from.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense. That's like whenever you see like a Spider-Man cartoon and they're like, oh, he's a menace. It's like he just fucking saved a kid from getting hit by a car. Like,
well, most of the benders, they're just born like that. Like, they have no.
Yeah, and it's like, did y'all forget about Aang, who saved everyone's life? We just hate him now?
Well, because some of them have learned that ability that Aang learned at the end, where he can like take people's bending away.
That awesome fucking scene at the end of that show.
So other people have that, and they're just taking the powers away from other benders, and like, no more benders. They're pulling a Mordo and Doctor Strange. No more.
Too many benders.
Too many benders.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
The show sounds great.
that's like 2 seasons of the show. It's just that.
I'm not watching the show.
No, don't. It's bad. Anyways,
I'm pretty sure that's all my movie news.
that's all your movie news?
There wasn't a whole lot. I've got like Marvel and DC and Star Wars.
I got some Star Wars news. You want to start with
I don't
that?
have any Marvel news. Sure.
All right. My one piece of Star Wars news. This is probably gonna piss you off. So we know we're getting the Cassian Andor show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear who's gonna show up on that show?
Mace Windu.
Ewan McGregor.
Why?
Because he's alive.
See, this is this is the problem that I have with Star Wars. They're so fucking obsessed. They don't care about expanding this universe at all. They clearly, they're just like, hey, who do we have around this time period that we can just shove into the show for no reason? Obi-Wan, cool.
You know why? It's like, oh, we need a lightsaber. Let's put Ewan McGregor.
I didn't even think about that. God damn it. God damn it. Every goddamn thing they do has a lightsaber. Why do people like Star Wars?
Because of lightsabers. Obviously. Did you not make that connection, Wayne? That's why they do it.
If that's why people like Star Wars, then Star Wars sucks. Fuck all of that. Fuck everything about that. Just one more reason to not watch that fucking stupid
I was going to watch that show anyways. Putting Ewan McGregor in doesn't make me want to watch it more.
No, I'm not going to. That's their thing to get people to watch the show.
Probably. Hey, Obi-Wan's in this.
Obi-Wan's going to be in it. We're not going to tell you which episode or how long, but he's definitely in it. They're going to save him until the last episode. So they get people to watch it. It's like, oh, wait, where's Obi-Wan? Where's Obi-Wan?
Like, let me watch this 10-episode show about this whispering guy that nobody cares about.
Yeah, that iconic character that died in this fucking movie. That's awesome.
Like, how are they ever going to meet? Because Obi-Wan's on Tatooine. Are we going back to Tatooine again?
Of course we are, Devin, because why go anywhere new?
Let's go back to the desert
We're going to
planet.
go back to Tatooine again. We already went back to Tatooine in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Like 4 times.
Do they go back in the sequels? Yeah, they do. Episode 9.
Yeah.
Every Star Wars thing goes back to Tatooine.
Yeah. It all just folds in on itself. It's all the same stuff.
It's just we're caught in a time
It's
loop.
just like The Mandalorian is the same thing as everything else. It's just a little bit like it just has a different coat of paint on it. Like it's the same shit, but they're just trying to like, oh well, this time it's about Ahsoka, but it's the same fucking thing. I'm sure Luke is gonna show up in Ahsoka, and all the same characters are gonna show up in everything, and they're never gonna build out this universe. It's gonna just be the same shit over and over again. And then they're going to wonder why people are bored of Star Wars now. And it's like, because you're not doing anything new.
We're just bringing back characters that are dead.
You're bringing back characters that are dead and characters that you also didn't create.
Yeah. And then when you bring back a character you did create, it's one that no one cares about.
Yeah.
In Cassian Andor. I'd much rather have a show about the blind guy. I don't know his name.
Shrewd Imwe.
Or even just K2. I don't know why.
K2 would be fun.
He's more interesting than Cassian.
I would love a Shrewd Imwe in Baze Malthus show. That'd be amazing because they were the best parts of Rogue One.
Yeah.
But we can't have a show with an.
But we're gonna put Cassian Andor in this and not put K2 in it. It's like, okay, that.
Well, I'm sure the end is gonna be like him finding K2.
Well, they said that K2's not in it.
I'm sure there's gonna be some fucking thing in it.
There might be a hint towards it.
Alan Tudyk's not gonna like say anything, but it's gonna be like he finds the droid or whatever, and then like sitting there reprogramming.
He's reprogramming.
That's the end. It cuts his lights. His eyes light up and it cuts the credits. He's gonna be in it at some point.
Fuck, Wade. We just the whole show right there.
Exactly. We don't even watch the show. No. What is he gonna do for 10 episodes?
I don't know. Fight whoever's a villain.
He goes, we gotta do this thing, and I'm angry. I've been a rebel since I was 6 or whatever.
Maybe he's gonna fight Darth Maul. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. He's gonna fight Darth Maul? No, that nigga's dead.
No, that's why he's getting Obi-Wan. Hey, I need you to fight Darth Maul.
Can you fight this guy for me, please?
Even though we know that neither one of them can die because we've already seen both of their deaths.
Yeah. It's the problem with making stuff canon.
Disney do something outside of this freaking timeline, Jesus.
Something outside of the canon. Do something. Just make something. Make a thing. Who gives a shit what timeline it's in?
That's what I'm saying. Make it outside of this timeline. Do 1,000 years in the future, 1,000 years in the past. Who fucking cares?
They care because they need to shove in. Hey, you know this character. Give us money.
Yoda.
That's why they put fucking Darth Maul in Solo, because it's like, oh, you know this. Give us money.
It's like we're already doing a show about Han Solo, but we need Darth Maul.
We need Darth Maul.
Fuck everything about Cassian Andor show. I'm not watching
this whole thing. That's how I feel about all of these Disney shows.
I'm watching the Kenobi show.
They have no purpose. There's no reason why any of these shows need to exist.
Yeah. I'm watching the Kenobi show and maybe the Ahsoka show, and that's it. Out of all the things they announced.
I'm not gonna watch any of it.
I know you're not. I know you're done with it. So
you ain't got my money, Disney.
You ain't getting my money.
I win.
That's all my Star Wars news. Did you have any Star
Wars? Rian Johnson's trilogy is still happening.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did he confirm that?
He said it's still happening.
God damn it! Did Kathleen Kennedy not learn anything?
Of course not, Devin. Of course not. Who do you think we're talking about? Of course not.
Hey, everyone hates this man and
what he did. A lot of
did.
people really love him and think his movies.
I don't love him. I like.
He's a great director. He's made some good stuff. He's made some good movies.
I like The Last Jedi, but
The Last Jedi just didn't work for some people.
I mean, maybe
don't bring him back.
Maybe it would help if it's all his story and not somebody else's.
It definitely would, because then it's like, oh, all the questions that you had, there's not.
There's no questions
because he's not going to set up any questions. And if he does, it's his own questions. But I mean, I'm totally fine with Rian Johnson making Star Wars movies. It's just like, why do we need this? Like, who cares?
I'm more interested in the Taika Waititi thing.
That could be interesting, because I think that is going to be an animated thing, and that could be a lot of fun. Or it could be shit. Make it like Jojo Rabbit.
I don't know. It's Taika Waititi. You never know where you're going to get.
Star Wars Nazis.
Star Wars Nazis. Yeah. There is Star Wars Nazis. It's the Empire.
Okay, make it about the Empire, because they're far more interesting than everything else in the rest of the Star Wars universe.
So yeah, we'll have to see whatever Rian Johnson's doing. He's probably making a yoga prequel or something.
A yoga prequel?
Yoda. Did I say yoga?
Yeah, you said yoga.
Yoda.
I'd like to see Star Wars yoga.
Star Wars for 3 movies?
Yeah, hell yeah. How do they work out? I need to know that.
Who cares?
I care.
Who fucking cares?
They're gonna make a Yoda movie at some point.
So I got Marvel stuff and DC stuff.
I don't have any Marvel stuff. Let's do Marvel stuff.
I got quite a bit. So we got the Spider-Man title reveal. Spider-Man.
Oh, I did have that. I just didn't read my thing.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? Anything?
I don't know what that means, because if it's focusing on what they set up in the last movie, maybe could make sense. If he's on the run, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
If it's a multiverse thing, does it refer to there's no way home for the other Spider-Man?
It's very dark.
I don't know.
You're stuck.
You're stuck forever. You're going to die here.
It's no real. It's very dark, if that's what that is supposed to mean.
I don't know.
I don't know what that means. I'm sick of this home shit.
I'm hoping after, since this trilogy's done, if they do more, they're like, okay,
they're gonna have another word.
Switch it up.
We're gonna have to squeeze pizza and everything.
Oh, pizza.
Pizza time. It's pizza time again.
Pizza time. The trilogy. I don't know.
The pizza's cubed.
Pizza cubed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just do like Spectacular Spider-Man.
They should have. That's what I wanted Homecoming to be called. Was Spectacular Spider-Man. That would have been awesome. No, Spider-Man Homecoming. All right, cool. Whatever the hell that means.
Well, it was Homecoming during that movie.
Yeah, that's a small part of that movie. That's like 5 minutes.
No, that's the whole plot.
That's not the whole plot. You take the homecoming dance out of it, and none of it matters.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Titles.
I'm just gonna call them whatever the hell I want.
Spider-Man. I just call them the MCU Spider-Man.
I just call it Spider-Man.
So we got also that the X-Men project might be called the Mutants.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm okay with it if it's not an X-Men movie. Because you can make a movie about mutants that isn't the X-Men. But if it's about the X-Men and it's not called the X-Men, that's kind of stupid.
What if it's just pre-X-Men?
That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. Is that it's like before the team is like a thing. That's fine, I guess.
Do you like the title, The Mutants?
Mutants is fine.
It's not Mutants, it's The Mutants.
The Mutants is fine. You can't call it The New Mutants because it's already a thing. The Mutants is fine. Maybe it's a prequel to The New Mutants.
Ew, don't associate with that.
I'm glad it's not called like the retards or like the.
You can't say that in 2021.
You can say whatever you want. People won't be happy with it, but you can say whatever you want.
Say that. You're gonna get canceled.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
Also, by the way, no one put hashtag cancel Wade in the comments the last
Dylan
video.
did, but I'm not acknowledging
that. Doesn't count
because he's kind of part of the show a little bit. So
somebody else needs to do it.
Yeah,
you get put on the wall.
You'll get put on the wall.
We'll print it out.
I might not print it out. I might just put it in digital.
I'll print it out. I'll put it right.
Print it out. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see which mutants they like debut.
They're gonna do Bishop.
That would be cool. That's a little too early. He's more of like a future guy.
Yeah, he is.
So that'd be a little weird. I'd want to see Bishop in a movie. He was in Days of Future Past for like 2 seconds.
You're gonna do Jean Grey because we've done her 3,000 times.
Don't fucking do Jean Grey again. God damn it. Did it twice already and they fucked it up. Don't do it again. Leave it alone.
You can do Cyclops again.
I'd be fine if they did Cyclops like not shitty.
Cyclops is a shitty character.
Make him like somewhat interesting.
Do a good Beast.
Beast is so cool.
I
love Beast.
Not that the one guy.
Kelsey Grammer was a great choice.
Yeah.
They didn't give him anything to do.
No, they didn't give him anything to do.
I want Frasier Beast back.
Frasier Beast.
He's Frasier.
Well, yeah, do Beast. That'd be interesting.
Let's make a Beast movie.
Beast.
Let's call it The Beast.
The Beast.
Or Beastie.
Beastie Boy.
Beastie Boy. Oh, man.
I got some.
They probably wouldn't want to do that because in the future DC might want to do a Beast Boy movie.
Yeah, that'd be confusing.
And that'd be confusing as fuck. It's like is The Beast a prequel to Beast Boy?
Yes. And then you watch and
why is he green?
What the fuck was this? Anyways, I got some Thor 4 news.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Melissa McCarthy was seen on set as Fake Hela.
Yeah, I saw a set photo of this.
With Matt Damon and Luke Hemsworth.
Yeah.
So, that's fun.
That's fun, I guess. I'm glad, because I remember I was just scouring the Instagram, and I was like, oh, Melissa McCarthy's cast in Thor. I was like, what?
You were about to be like, oh, hell no.
What? You're casting this unfunny bitch in this movie? And then I found out what it was, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's fine.
Taika's self-aware.
She's probably going to be in it for one scene.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I don't really give a shit.
No, she is. They recast Hela, and she's
pivotal to the plot.
She's Hela.
That's awesome. That's great.
Do you think her one scene is going to be her dying as Hela?
They're going to have a. It could be because the last time the last Loki scene was of him dying, so they might have Hela dying, and it's like it's their version of it because Thor's the only.
Are we doing another play?
Probably it's Matt Damon and Luke Hemsworth.
Still,
yeah, we're gonna have another play scene.
Who's doing it this time?
Why the hell not?
Loki's dead, so who's doing it?
I don't fucking know. I didn't think those guys survived when Asgard exploded.
They did. Apparently.
Where was Matt Damon at the end of that movie?
Where was Matt Damon in Infinity War?
The thing.
Where was he at?
Where was he in Endgame? Is he on New Asgard?
Yeah.
We didn't see him. There's a big plot hole.
Inconsistency, Marvel.
Yeah. Matt Damon just whenever Asgard's involved, he just needs to be there. He doesn't need lines. He just needs to be in the background. Oh, there he is.
He's just gonna show up. That's what's gonna happen. Where's Sam Neill?
Nah, he's probably dead.
Well, I mean, Odin's dead, so it makes sense for him to not be in that.
He just got old and died.
Doctor Strange 2. I got some news for that. Just a little stuff. Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell tweeted out something. He didn't say he was in Doctor Strange 2.
It was very implied that he was.
Everyone's kind of like, either you're just a big asshole and you're trolling everyone.
That could be possible.
Which, knowing Bruce Campbell, he would totally do that.
Oh yeah.
And get nothing out of it just to fuck with people. But I've been saying since day one, if Sam Raimi's directing a movie, Bruce Campbell's in it. Because he's been in all of his other movies since fucking...
And he could be Mysterio in this, you never know.
That'd be fun. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck not? Who the hell else would he be? That'd be awesome.
He's just Bruce Campbell.
I'd be okay with that too. He's just, hey, it's Bruce Campbell. He's like, fuck off, kid. That'd be great. I want the French Maitre D to come back.
Oh, God. He's just like, Doctor Strange goes to a dinner party.
Oui.
Doctor
He
Strange
does
is
this
like,
terrible French accent.
Doctor Strange is like, you're not French. Yes, I am.
What do you know?
And he pulls off his fake mustache and runs out the room.
You're a fraud.
You're a fraud, Bruce Campbell.
Oh, fuck, man. If that's what happened, this is why I can't make movies. Because I would have a 10-minute scene of Doctor Strange going through the multiverse and interacting with that French maitre d', and they would just be bickering with each other for 10 minutes. And that'd be it. And everybody would be like, what the fuck is this?
You're not French.
You're not French, man. And he rips his mustache off.
And he gets another one and just tapes it on real quick. It's like, God damn it.
It's like, son of a fuck.
Get me out of this universe.
And then that scene would just end and it would have nothing to do with anything.
In the background, you see Tobey Maguire crying.
Tobey Maguire? No, he would be in the scene because it's the scene from Spider-Man 3.
No, but he's in the background at the chair.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
MJ
about.
just dumped him and he's crying in the background.
And he's like, where's this fucking kid at? And then and then the multiverse portal would close and then everybody would be like, what was that about?
What the fuck was that? Was that Tobey Maguire?
Was that him? Did they shoot new footage with him? Well, he didn't say anything. I was like, yeah, fuck you. Okay.
Imagine Sam Raimi calling up Tobey like, hey, I just need you to come in and
cry. You
cry.
want to be in the background?
And cry?
And just cry, do that your dumb cry face again? I'll give you $50 million.
Tobey's like, fuck off.
Give him the money, I'll probably do that.
They probably just digitally add his face.
Probably.
Like, you don't have to show up. Just give me the rights.
Stand in, we'll put your face on something.
Just give me the rights to your face and it's fine.
Or Luke Skywalker.
We'll de-age it. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It'll be great.
It'll be great. You'll go from 45 to 35, but looking 45.
Playing a 20-year-old.
Playing like someone straight out of college.
Because it makes so much sense. Because I'm Sam Raimi. And everything
Sam
I do.
Raimi is a lunatic.
Yeah, everything I do makes sense. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they have released a budget for that. It's $25 million an episode.
That's how much WandaVision is.
I know. That's a lot. Actually, it's a little bit more. I think Wanda was closer to $22 million. So I think this is going to break the record that WandaVision just set for the most expensive show ever.
Holy shit. I don't understand what, like, for Falcon and Winter Soldier it makes sense because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of effects on explosions and action scenes and whatever. But for, like, WandaVision, it's like, did it need to be $20 million an episode? Like, you could have made that show.
An episode was just to put the makeup on Paul Bettany.
Are you serious?
I don't know.
Like, you could have made that show on $10 million. Like, that show isn't, like, WandaVision, out of all the Marvel stuff, is not, like, this big graphic intensive thing.
Maybe
like,
it's got a bunch of subtle VFX things that we don't see.
It might, but, like, does it need that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Marvel just has money, and they're just like, oh, just make it $25 million.
Maybe the set that they were on wasn't real, and it was all CG.
Wouldn't put it past them, but it was.
It was, yeah.
It was.
Are you going to watch the making of, by the way? Of that?
That comes out
this Friday.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah. I'm interested. I might watch it.
Even though I hate the show, apparently.
You don't hate the show. It'd be interesting to see, like, the first couple episodes, too, how they did that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Apparently, Vision was blue in the first couple episodes.
To make them in the black and white stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Red in black and white looks like blackface.
Oh. So they put in blue.
So I'm sure...
I want to see that.
I'm sure they filmed something and was like, this is gonna... We
not.
can't do this.
Let's not do this.
People are gonna fucking hate this. So, like, let's try some other colors and see which one looks
I want to see the colorized him, though.
That'd be cool.
Let's see the blue version.
I'm sure all of those sets would look interesting as hell because when you're filming in black and white, like if you watch The Addams Family, the actual set for The Addams Family was like pink, and like
really?
a lot of their clothes were like pink because they stand out more in black and white. That's people don't realize that. They think when you just film something and you just put a filter over it, it's like, no, you got to be kind of clever about how stuff pops and how everything looks.
That is interesting.
Even if you're filming in black.
I hope they talk a lot about how they like did the certain eras and stuff like that. That'd be interesting.
That'd be fun.
Whoever the cinematographer was for those episodes.
I don't know who it was. Is it the same guy?
I'm sure he did most of the episodes. That one guy directed every episode. So.
That's fucking cool as shit.
The Matt Sherman or whatever.
Matt Shackman?
Whatever his
Shankman,
name.
Whatever his fucking name is.
He directed every episode. So.
That's awesome.
I don't know if that's going to be a trend, I guess. I guess it's going to be like a movie. Like
I guess that makes sense. Because
The Mandalorian wasn't like that.
They're treating it like... Well, but that's a... Because WandaVision was one big story told over 8 episodes. Mandalorian was kind of like different stories within one big thing.
Yeah.
So it would make a little bit more sense if it was on one director, I think.
And then my last piece of Marvel news ties into something I said earlier. Black Widow is still coming out in May, as of right now, and it's still only coming out in theaters, not Disney Plus.
So. What happens if the theaters aren't open?
As of right now, they said they're just gonna release it in theaters.
All right,
wherever they're open.
If I don't see your movie, Marvel, that's your fucking.
Well, most places are going off based on LA and what they're doing, and as of right now, LA is set to open in mid-April. So.
Okay, I mean, yeah, if our theaters are open by then, that's cool. But I'm just saying, like, if your movie doesn't do very well, it's probably because some theaters are still closed.
Apparently, there was an interview with a bunch of New Yorkers, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't care what's in theaters. We just want to go back to the theaters."
Yeah, I really don't care what's in theater. I miss going to the movie theater.
Last thing we saw was New Mutants, because we saw that after Tenet.
Shit.
So.
Yeah, I really don't want that to be the last thing I see.
I mean, you'll see something else in theaters, obviously.
I hope so. I could die before then. You don't know.
Yeah, you could die tomorrow.
I could die right now.
Well, it didn't happen. I was waiting to see if you'd just pass out or something. But
that would have been great. That would have been awesome.
That's all my Marvel news. I got some DC. I got one DC thing.
DC
it's my Superman and Lois.
Oh, okay. Go.
News. It's going on hiatus.
Yeah,
I mean,
this kind of sucks. It makes sense. I get it.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense, actually. What the fuck's wrong with your schedule, HBO? What the fuck's going on with that?
No, it's like because of COVID and stuff.
No, it's because they're releasing Supergirl, and they don't want them to go at the same time.
Is that seriously the reason?
Yeah.
I thought it had something to do with COVID.
No. It has completely to do with Supergirl comes out like in 2 weeks.
On a different day.
The Supergirl comes out in 2 weeks.
Do they have so many shows
that they're overlapping?
Superhero shows that they're overlapping? Fuck that. Fuck Supergirl.
Because everybody's like
Superman and Lois.
Everybody's just like, why would you stop a show that people like for a show that people don't?
Yeah, everyone's loving the show. The last 2 episodes, people have been like, yo, the show's really good. I haven't seen a single person in all the reviews I've seen of Superman and Lois be like, oh, this show sucks. Everyone's been like, hey, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. We're gonna put that show on hold so we can bring back this other show.
Because it's not coming back till like May.
Yeah, they said after episode 5 they're gonna put it on hiatus, and it won't come
which is because Supergirl comes out in that season.
Dumb. I'm not. Fuck you. I'm not gonna watch Supergirl.
Also,
you can't force me to watch.
What the fuck's wrong with your scheduler that you scheduled it that way? Like, if you knew Supergirl was coming out then, why not just wait until after Supergirl was done, or release Superman and Lois earlier if it was done already? I mean, I don't know if it was done already before that. What the fuck?
I don't know how TV shows work. And how they're filmed.
Or like you said, release them on different days of the week.
Just put them on different days. Release Superman and Lois on the weekend. Just have a show out on the weekend so people can see it.
Release one Friday, one Saturday or something.
Sure. Because it's like, it comes out on Wednesday. Or it's Tuesday, but then you can watch it next day on the website on Wednesday. It's like, I gotta sit here and watch it on Wednesday? Like, that's weird. I don't want to do that. Put it on Friday like a normal person.
That's what Disney Plus has that you don't.
Yeah. Disney Plus is smart. We're going to put it on Friday because it's the weekend.
Doesn't Justice League come out on Wednesday or something?
Justice League comes out on like a Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's like, Snyder, you're so fucking weird.
Did he? I don't think he chose that, did he?
I'm sure he was like, hey, it's coming out this day.
I bet you HBO Max.
Because why not just put it on Friday?
I mean, in all fairness, most movies do come out Thursday at midnight.
Thursday at midnight. This one's like Wednesday midnight. It's out. It's like, all right.
Well, I'm not even going to probably watch it Thursday.
No, I'm probably not going to be able to watch it till the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, this is dumb. I'm going to have to stay off the internet for 2 days.
People are going to be like, oh, it was shit.
I cannot wait for people to get in arguments with people. Because even if it sucks, I'm sure some of it will be fine. And I'll just be like, you're just a hater. I get to call other people haters, which is fun.
You're a hater. And they'll be like, you're a fanboy.
Like, I just told you I hated the fucking movie.
That's all my news, though.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
I got some stuff. There is this might piss you off.
Yes.
You know about this already.
I'm excited.
New Superman film.
Oh, yeah.
Produced by J.J. Abrams, which it's good he's not directing it or writing it. Him producing it means absolutely...
His grubby fingers could be in it. You never know.
It could, but the fact he has a producer's credit on it means absolute dick. It just means he's giving him money and he's backing it. And apparently it's been confirmed that it is going to be the Val Zod Superman.
That's not the president one, right?
No. Val Zod is the son of General Zod.
Damn it.
I mean, they could merge the two because I don't see why not.
But I kind of wanted the
because they're both kind of the same.
I kind of wanted the President one. That seems more interesting to me.
That'd be neat.
I mean, this doesn't like piss me off. I mean, I'd love to see Henry Cavill come back, and I doubt it'll ever happen. Probably Justice League is gonna be the last time we ever see him as Superman, which sucks. But
Devin, you're just racist.
How am I racist?
You're just because it's a black.
I ain't mad because he's black.
You're just racist.
If they were to recast him as a white guy, I wouldn't care. I wanted Henry Cavill back. I don't care if he's black, white, Mexican. I don't care.
You just hate black people.
I know everybody wants Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, don't get Michael B. Jordan. I love Michael B. Jordan. He's great, but it's just don't. He's already been Killmonger. He was Human Torch. Get out of these fucking movies. Get an unknown.
What if they get Idris Elba? He's a little too old, but
Idris Elba would not do that
because he's weird.
Because he's a weirdo, and he's already in the Suicide Squad, and I don't think they want that.
Well, they're not in the same universe.
Doesn't matter. I don't think they want people associating that Suicide Squad movie with that.
Is this movie in the Batman universe?
I think it's going to be because they're doing the whole Flashpoint thing. I think this is going to take place after
this is the
Flashpoint,
new Superman,
or in some timeline somewhere because it's a Val Zod Superman.
How many Supermans are we going to have going at once?
We're going to have the Superman Lois Superman going.
Isn't the Brandon Routh Superman still farting around somewhere?
He's still farting around somewhere. They might bring him back at some point. They're doing an HBO Max multiverse show, which I'm sure they're going to have some Superman on there somewhere.
As far as we know, Henry Cavill might still be Superman, maybe in the DCU. I don't know.
Depends on how they play with Flashpoint.
Right.
If they're going to erase that universe, then he probably won't come back.
Probably
but if it's just like, I opened up another timeline somewhere. Woo.
Okay, 2 DC universes going at once. That won't be confusing.
Yeah, that's not going to confuse people at all. I don't know. I mean, this could be neat, and I'm glad that if we are getting another Superman movie, I'm glad it's not just Clark Kent. Because one of my main issues with the Batman is the fact that it's just going to be Bruce Wayne again. So at least we're getting a different Superman on the big screen, and they can tell a new story with Superman. Because going into this, most people who aren't familiar with Val Zod, they're going to see a new movie. It's not just going to be, oh, here's Superman again, doing Superman stuff. It's going to be a brand new character for a lot of people. So that's fun, and that's neat. I just don't really, why would you not bring back... Everyone wants Henry Cavill to come back. Even people who hate the Snyder movies. Everyone wants Henry Cavill.
Well, he only got one movie. I mean, sure, maybe...
He's been in 3, but he's got one.
He's got one movie about him. It's like, well, that's not fair. I think
WB is trying to literally erase all ties to the Zack Snyder movies.
Why?
Because people don't like those movies.
People don't like freaking Suicide Squad. Zack Snyder had nothing to do with that.
But it's in his universe. I think they're trying to, just that universe, we're just going to ignore that and move forward.
Good job, Warner Brothers. Instead of working towards something, you just give up on it.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're giving up on it.
Imagine if Marvel was like, hey, Iron Man 2 didn't do too well. Let's just not make Avengers.
Let's just restart everything.
Let's just not make Avengers.
Let's not do it.
Iron Man 3 didn't do well after the Avengers, man. Let's
do a multiverse thing and just make a new timeline.
Let's make another one. No, they made Thor 2.
It took a while before
went bad.
Got to the place that they're at. They didn't, because Phase 1 didn't have it has some bad movies in it. Iron Man 2 isn't very good. Thor's not good.
Incredible Hulk's not very
good. Incredible Hulk's not good at all. And some people are kind of hit or miss about Captain America. They didn't just come out of the gate and was like, oh, they're fucking making art. DC's only been doing this for, not even a decade.
And in terms of the amount of movies they've made compared to Marvel's Phase 1,
they're got 9 movies.
They're in still the Phase 1 of Marvel, basically.
Yeah. They're still in their Phase 1.
So it's just like, well...
And instead of trying to improve...
Even Phase 2,
get better.
Marvel... Not a lot of people liked Iron Man 3. Not a lot of people liked Thor 2.
Yeah.
And then they came out with Winter Soldier and Guardians, and then they started picking up some speed.
That was when they started to okay, this is where they've kind of found their stride, was with Cap 2, Guardians, and
then they went to do Avengers, Ant-Man, Civil War. And
that was when everything kind of started oh fuck, this is okay. They found what works in the thing. So it wasn't until Phase 2, and that was 6-7 years into the universe.
Right.
DC's already just
well, we made some things, and Batman. We put Batman and Superman in the movie.
We forced Zack Snyder to put Batman in this movie, and to put all this Justice League stuff.
And it didn't make $1 billion, so we're pissed.
People didn't like it, and now we're just gonna blame Zack Snyder. Like, no, you made him do that because he didn't. He wanted to do Man of Steel. He wanted to make 3 Man of Steel movies. That was his original thing. And then they warped Man of Steel into being Batman vs Superman. He didn't want to do that originally, but they're gonna blame him for it because his name's on it.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll mess it up again when they do another universe.
Probably,
because I'm sure the Batman will do okay. If not, it'll do probably pretty good.
Batman's gonna do okay. It's not gonna bomb.
And then they'll be like, oh, let's just make a universe from that. And then that's what
they're definitely going to try to make a universe from it, whether Matt Reeves likes it or not.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. They tried to do it with the Dark Knight trilogy. Christopher Nolan had enough power and enough clout to go, fuck you.
Matt Reeves not doesn't have that.
Matt Reeves is not Chris Nolan.
No.
So they're going to say, fuck you, Matt Reeves. We're using this.
This is our character. You're fired. We'll just get somebody else.
That's all they have to do.
Right.
All right, well, you're not coming back for the Batman too, so fuck you.
You know that Superman movie we made with a black guy? He's going to be in the Batman.
That'd be weird, seeing a black Superman hanging out with Batman. That'd be weird.
Be interesting.
It'd be interesting, but it'd be very weird.
And then,
Batman try to, like, arrest him.
I'm sure they'll fold somehow Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman and...
They're going to try to keep her and Jason Momoa around as much as possible.
Because people like those characters.
Yeah, which is weird, because they have some of the worst movies.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Aquaman since theaters.
It's not good.
No.
It's not very good. Speaking of the multiverse DC stuff, there was a Supergirl cast for the movies. For Flash, I think is when she's going to show up. I don't know this actress.
No. I thought it was going to be some big person.
No, Scarlett Johansson. No, it's
Jennifer Lawrence.
It's some. I think she's like an Indian. She's been in a couple things, but
well, that's cool. I guess.
So Supergirl's coming.
But we already have a Supergirl.
But movies.
I mean,
we don't have one of the movies.
We did. There was a Supergirl movie.
That was in the 80s, and no one liked that movie because it sucks.
It's a weird movie.
We don't have a Supergirl currently in the movies. They could, honestly, they could just bring in Supergirl from the show.
It was maybe hinted at in Man of Steel that there was Supergirl.
Well, yeah, we didn't see her. Now we're going to see her.
Fuck, who cares?
She's going to be in the movie for 2 minutes.
Who cares? We don't have Henry Cavill, so...
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter.
They're going to try to make her... They're going to fuck this whole universe up, and none of it's going to make any sense. Because they're going to try to keep Wonder Woman and Aquaman and then this new Supergirl, but we're not going to have Clark Kent, and it's going to be weird.
If you're rebooting, reboot it.
Start from scratch.
Don't keep some stuff and get rid of others.
Yeah, that's not what a reboot is. Speaking of the new DC universe, a Blue Beetle movie is apparently in development.
Oh yeah, let's do more characters that people care about.
Blue Beetle's cool.
It's fine, but you can't even get Batman right, so...
They've nailed Batman 5 times already.
Alright, fine.
We need to move on from Batman.
You can't get Wonder Woman right.
They can't get Wonder Woman, they can't get Aquaman right. They can barely even get the Flash right.
You're teeter-tottering on Superman every once in a while.
Superman would have been done right if they let Zack Snyder finish his fucking arc. He didn't get to finish the story, so of course he's not done right, because his story's incomplete.
But yeah, we can nail Blue Beetle.
But fucking A, this obscure character.
We can nail him. He's fucking Ant-Man in the DC universe. I mean,
not really.
Not in terms of powers, but in terms of level of popularity.
Maybe, I could see that.
Because the Atom is the Ant-Man of...
Yeah.
People do an Atom movie.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
I'd rather see that than Blue Beetle. I don't even know what Blue Beetle's powers are.
Blue Beetle, he has like this scarab that's like attached to his body, and it's like tech, and he can like fly around.
So he's just Iron Man?
He's kind of like Cyborg in a way, because he's got like nanotech stuff, and he can like morph it into whatever. But it's like a part of him, but he can come out of it. So he's got like a human form.
So why not just do a Cyborg thing?
Because Cyborg sucks. And they don't want anything to do with Ray Fisher anymore.
I'm not saying Ray Fisher. Do a different person.
So they're like, we're gonna bring in a Mexican character.
Nacho
We're gonna have a Mexican cyborg. Not Nacho Libre. Nacho Libre was a white man.
That's true. He was Jack Black.
He was. Which no one finds that offensive. All right.
That was in 2006. Nobody cares about.
But no one's going back and be like, cancel Jack Black. No one cares.
Because he's Jack Black. Everybody's like, I
guess I don't care because I like that movie. But it would be cool. if they did the Ted Kord Blue Beetle and they did a buddy cop movie with Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Do a Hawkman movie.
Well, I mean, he's in Black Adam.
Is he really?
We talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
He was cast.
Yeah. That's cool.
Don't give him his own movie.
What were you saying before?
The Ted Kord Blue Beetle teaming up with Booster Gold, making a buddy cop.
You just
movie.
want Booster Gold in something.
No, but they're a team.
But you want Booster Gold.
I want Booster Gold because Booster Gold's awesome, and that would be a fun movie. A Booster Gold movie where he's doing all this shit.
You want Tom Cruise as Booster Gold?
I don't. I've never once said that.
I think you did. I think you said it once.
I don't want a midget to play Booster Gold. All right, get Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
You out of your fucking mind? Ryan Gosling's perfect.
He would never do that though.
Why not?
Because he's too A-list.
Not anymore.
He'd be like Booster fucking Gold.
I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. said that with Iron Man, and look at him.
He was on drugs also.
He came off of drugs.
Still, Ryan Gosling, as I know.
What was the last thing Ryan Gosling was in? Blade Runner? That movie bombed.
La La Land did pretty good.
La La Land was alright.
In terms of like awards and stuff, it did pretty good.
Sure.
He's riding high.
That movie
4
also
years
came
ago.
out 4 years ago. Yeah, he's not doing dick right now. I'm sure if they were like, hey, here's $50 million, put on a fucking suit and act dumb. You'd be like, alright, cool, I can do that.
He's too high class.
He's not. Get Ryan Gosling.
Get the guy from Baby Driver.
Ansel Elgort?
Yeah.
He's not blonde. And
can
I'm
dye
pretty
his
sure,
hair.
didn't he get canceled? I think
Did he?
Got canceled.
God,
I think he said some
damn
shit
it.
And
That whole cast is getting canceled.
pretty much, yeah.
What'd you do, John Hamm?
John Hamm, he just got a big dick.
Jamie Foxx.
His dick accidentally like fell into someone's mouth.
Kevin Spacey.
It's not like intentionally. It's just so big that it was out, and somebody walked in the room and I got a mouthful of John Hamm dick.
They were blinded.
Exactly.
Couldn't see shit.
Blinded by that ham stick. that beef stick.
The ham stick.
The
I
ham
like
stick.
that.
The ham stick.
Somebody make that a hashtag.
Hell yeah.
Hashtag John Hamm.
Tweet it to John Hamm. Let's just have a hashtag about his dick.
Can I see the ham stick?
Show me the ham stick. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, that big old dick. Like, what? Who are you? I'm out having dinner at Applebee's with my grandma. What are you talking
Somebody
about?
just yells that across the
That sounds like something Kevin Hart would say. I just imagine like a fan just like they're sitting there at like, I don't know, Olive Garden, and they're just like eating their food and they just look over and they go, show me that big ass dick. They're just pointing at John Hamm. And John Hamm's like, God damn it.
Get the ham stick.
Show me that beef stick. It's like, what?
What are you talking about?
Can I just eat my breadsticks?
What if it's all misdirect and he's got like a tiny penis?
I mean, that would make sense. If I had a small dick and I was John Hamm, I'd put some shit down there.
He just pays
I wear a
people
fake
to
penis.
tell him.
No, there are photos of his penis.
It's Photoshop. You never know.
It could be, but that's a weird thing to Photoshop.
He's that kind of person in his head.
He's
right?
that self-conscious.
Yeah.
He's like, every photo of me, I need you to Photoshop a big old honking hog in pants, all right?
Make it look uncomfortably big.
Yeah, it needs to be like a fucking... You need to look at that and go, God damn, that looks uncomfortable.
You never know. It might be what it is.
That thing's alive.
It's got a mind of its own.
Get John Hamm for Booster Gold.
What if he's a grower?
That's insane. He's already like... It's like a foot long and he's still growing. That's insane, all right?
It's not even my.
That's how we get into Love Sausage from The Boys.
I don't know what that is.
He's got like his powers is that he's got a massive dick that he can like.
That's
swing
his
around.
power?
Yeah. That's why it's called Love
The
Sausage.
fuck?
He can like choke you with his dick and like.
The fuck?
Yeah. He was in season 2.
Okay. Is that all your DC news? We got into John Hamm penis somehow in there.
Yeah, that's all my DC news.
So that's all the news.
It's all the news.
That's all the news, everybody. Wrap it up.
What's your fun fact?
I don't have one.
Never.
I wasn't prepared.
Fuck her.
I'm sorry. 2 + 2 = 4, bitch.
That's not a fun fact.
It's a fact, though.
It's not fun.
But it is a fact.
Sure. Even though some people, some morons would be like, "Oh, it's actually 5."
It's fish.
It's those same fucking morons that are like, "Oh, when you're underwater, you're not really wet." It's those same fucking idiots.
What?
You know those people who will argue, who will get in heated debates that like, "Oh, if you're underwater, you're not really wet."
How? You're underwater.
That's the thing. But people want to sound smart, so they go, "Oh, when you're underwater, you're not actually wet because when you're underwater, you're surrounded by water." It's like, well, yeah, you're wet.
Water is touching.
Yeah, that's what defines something being wet, you moron.
But I've heard the debate is water wet, which
yes,
but it is wet.
Yes, it is wet.
Some people are like, no, it's not wet because it's water.
How does that make any sense? That's your defense? No, it's not wet because it's water. What does that mean? That doesn't make any sense.
Because being wet is water being on something. So water itself can't be wet.
But you are wet because water is wet. Water makes stuff wet because it's wet.
Because it's water.
And it's wet.
But can water just itself be wet?
It is wet.
It's a weird philosophical question.
It's not at all. Water's wet.
It's one of those things like, is hot dog a sandwich?
It is a sandwich. It's a sideways sandwich.
Sideways sandwich.
It's a sandwich, but you just flip it up.
What if somebody ate a hot dog like a normal sandwich?
People do that.
They should be shot.
When we don't have fucking hot dog buns, I have to put
No, like they have hot dog buns and they just eat it sideways.
Oh, yeah, those people are terrorists. That's weird. Yeah, fuck those people.
Eating it like a sandwich. It's like, fuck you.
It's like,
somebody shoot that man.
It's like, yeah, I see that. You're a terrorist. Fuck you.
They eat
I'm sure there's some.
They eat it like corn. Like they go down.
I'm sure there's some fucking weirdo out there that eats it like that. It's like those same weirdos that like fold their pizza when they eat it. Like, just eat the pizza.
Now I gotta origami.
It doesn't taste better when you just kind of like fold it up a little bit.
It's easier to hold.
Just eat the goddamn pizza.
It's not all slipping off the side.
How the fuck? You having so much trouble eating pizza?
Hey,
you pick up a pizza, you stick it in your mouth.
Sometimes there's so many toppings, you gotta fold it to keep it in.
Why are you like getting a piece of pizza and just waving it around like a fucking dick and then going, oh man, all the shit fell off? Eat the pizza.
Well, sometimes you pick it up and stuff just slides off.
It's the cheese.
So you gotta pick it up and you gotta fold it.
No, eat the pizza and then just take the shit off the thing and just put it back on.
What about people that eat pizza with forks?
Patrick Stewart does that. Those people are just British.
But they don't offend you?
I used to do that when I was really young.
What if I had a taco on a stick?
If you can get a taco on a stick without it breaking, I will give you $1 million.
I could make a taco shell that has a hole in it, and then I could put it on a stick.
Yeah, but that's not as fun. Trying to get a taco on a stick is part of the fun.
That's impossible.
It's not. I'm sure somebody could do it. So somebody out there will like break the laws of physics just to get a fucking taco on a stick. Unless it's a soft taco.
What if I glue it to an end of a stick?
That's not on a... No, because
it's still on the stick.
It'd be at the tip of the stick. It needs to be on the stick.
What if I glued it to the middle of the stick?
If the stick's not going through it, it doesn't count.
But it's on a stick.
But it doesn't... No.
It's on top of the stick.
The stick needs to go through the taco.
And then we can put it over a fire like a marshmallow.
Why would you do that?
To cook the meat.
Everything's going to fall out.
Because to cook the meat.
Everything's going to fall out of the fucking taco. Into the fire, and then you're just going to have...
No, you don't twist it.
You're going to have to fucking do that, and then it's going to fall out.
Why are you bending it?
Do you not know how... You put the thing in the fire, it's got to be side... If it's on a stick, you're going to have to hold it sideways to put it in the fire. It can't just be straight up in the fucking thing.
Wait. How are you putting it on the stick?
You have a stick. You have a stick like this.
Yeah.
Right? Taco.
Yeah. So how come you can't put it on?
Because the taco's sideways. When you put the taco on the stick, the top of the taco is going to be facing that way. So when you bend it down into the fire, the shit's going to fall.
That's not how I was putting it on there.
How the fuck else would you put it on there?
This is the V of the taco, and the stick goes in this way.
That's weird. No. Fuck you. Fuck you. Your weird taco shenanigans.
That's even harder to put it on the stick.
That also, no one would do that. That's weird.
But then you can put it over the fire.
But why would you do that?
To cook the meat.
Why don't you... So you're putting raw meat in a taco?
It's a vegan taco.
That just shouldn't be allowed. Don't make vegan tacos.
It's just lettuce.
At that point, yeah, it's lettuce and cheese and tomatoes.
It's not cheese.
Just eat a salad.
Can't have cheese. It's not vegan.
Cheese isn't vegan?
Vegetarian, you can have cheese.
These people need to stop.
Vegan,
either be one thing or be nothing.
Vegan is you can't have anything produced from animals. And cheese is made from milk, which is made from animals. So you can't have cheese.
Vegans suck.
Vegans can't eat anything.
Yeah, what do you guys eat? How do you live? You just eat lettuce all day?
They eat vegetables. And that's it.
Cool. There's no way you're getting enough sustenance.
I guess you could eat
just vegetables.
You could eat bread. Because that's not from... You could eat like peanut butter and stuff.
Sure.
There was also a study found that grass has feelings.
Yeah, it's a plant.
So, vegans are murderers.
They are. They just don't want to...
Because you know that smell when you cut grass? That's the smell of grass yelling in fear because they're dying.
Holy shit, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know, fuck that grass.
So that means when you eat corn on the cob, that corn had feelings.
Yeah, everything we eat is a living thing. Plants are living things.
There's one thing.
Unless it's like candy.
Even candy has stuff made out of it that was once alive. There's only one thing that we eat that was never alive, and that's salt. Salt is a rock. Everything else has something in it.
Well, pepper.
Pepper is made from some sort of plant.
What about flour?
It's made from wheat.
What about cotton candy?
It's got something in it. I don't know.
What about gummy worms?
It's got sugar in it, which is a crop.
God damn it. What if I just ate
Salt?
like a piece of sand?
That's not food. That's a rock.
It doesn't matter. I can eat it.
It's a rock. You won't live off of that.
You
won't live off eating salt.
Exactly, but we eat it.
That's the only thing that you eat on a regular basis.
I could eat sand on a regular basis if I wanted to.
Again, you won't live very long.
I mean, I'd be eating other stuff. I'm not just going to chug
Why
sand.
are you just
forever.
eating sand?
I'm just saying I can't eat it. And that's something
Where
that
are
also
you getting
isn't a
this
plant.
sand?
You can go to the store and get sand, Devin.
There's not... I mean, yeah. So you're just going to go buy a 20-pound bag of sand
Yeah.
and eat it? You munch on it like popcorn?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Well, I put it in a cup and then I drink it.
I guess
I
you
wouldn't
could
just like stick my hand in
eat.
it because then it would get everywhere.
Sure, if you want to get into the philosophical, oh yeah, I'm eating
It's not
glass.
philosophical. You can eat it.
You know what I'm saying, though. Normal people...
Yeah, normal people also don't just fucking chug salt either.
I'm just saying, out of everything you eat, the only thing that isn't alive is salt. People don't eat sand. Normal people don't eat sand.
Tom Hanks probably ate some sand in Castaway.
Normal people don't eat sand. So,
Tom Hanks is pretty fucking normal.
but yeah, everything else is made out of living things. So everyone is a murderer.
Holy shit. That I just got flashbacks to Grown Ups when Rob Schneider calls
Adam Sandler murderer.
Because he doesn't want to eat a dehydrated banana. Even though then later on he goes to eat a piece of chicken. And I'm like, you're a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah. With a dead man's ashes on his fingers.
Yeah, so this is real morbid.
It's really messed
You're
up.
gonna eat that dead man's soul from that chicken.
From the chicken.
Is that if you like got someone's ashes and you just ate it, would you like become them?
No.
No.
Like, that's a weird question.
I mean, we don't know. Has anyone done that?
Who just eats ashes? What are you eating? You eating sand? I eating ashes?
I'm not saying this is a regular thing. I'm not saying I like live off of people's ashes. I'm saying if like you
Why
died,
would you become them?
if you died at some point, whether it's now or in the future, and you got cremated and I ate some of your ashes, would I then become you?
Why would you become me?
Because I ate part of you.
If you eat somebody's arm, you don't become them.
Why not? Part of them is in me now.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It's a part of me. Technically, none of us are any of us. Because don't our cells like regenerate after like 10 years or
I
whatever?
want that on a t-shirt, by the way.
Fuck. I didn't do that intentionally.
Technically,
Fucking
none of us are any of us.
that sounds awesome.
Wade 2021.
Hell yeah.
That's what I want on a t-shirt.
Sell that shit. I'd wear that. I'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know.
I don't know, but I said it.
I said it. Because don't our cells like regenerate after 10 years and we just become like a different body?
After 10 years,
Isn't that what happens?
the cells that regenerate the slowest, which is your brain, they regenerate after 10 years. So yes, every 10 years, you are made of entirely new cells.
Yeah, so we're not even ourselves.
But your skin regenerates every like year.
So fuck. So we're not ourselves. We're not ourselves.
No,
we're different every time.
You 10 years ago is not the same, made out of any of the same material that you are now.
Yeah. So if I eat someone, I can become them.
If you are
Because
less than 10 years old, for one, you shouldn't be watching this podcast. Two,
you shouldn't.
You are made of the same material that you've been made out of for most of your life.
Sure, yeah. But if I eat someone, my body will then get nutrients from that, and that will probably rehabilitate in some way into my body, into my cells.
Sure, maybe.
And then I would become you, right?
In some way, you could say that I would become a part of you. Sure, you could say that. But also, every time you breathe, there's at least one air molecule that was probably in a dinosaur at one point.
Fuck, so I'm a dinosaur.
You can say that about anybody, though.
We're all dinosaurs. It's like the sitcom Dinosaurs.
There's every time you breathe, there's probably one molecule that was inside Abraham Lincoln at one point.
I don't want to be Abraham Lincoln.
So
Abraham Lincoln got shot in the head. I don't want to get shot in the head.
I'm just saying, you could say that about anything. Every time
we are everything.
Every time you drink water, there's probably a molecule in there.
There's probably a lot of piss in that water, too.
Probably, but there's probably a molecule in there that may have been inside Tom Cruise.
I'd be fine with being Tom Cruise.
It's a very good possibility that it's
I'd be fine with being Tom Cruise. Outside of the midgetness, I'd be fine with being Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is a millionaire.
Just because you have a part of him in you does not mean
But I can technically say I'm him because it's in my body.
You can say that about anybody, though.
Exactly. No one's going to stop me.
I'm a T-Rex.
Because I'm technically right.
So I breathed in T-Rex air.
Exactly. And they have no science to dispute that. So
technically, the science is in your favor.
That's what I'm saying. I could go anywhere. And I can be whatever I want to be. I can stroll into the White House. And I'm Joe Biden.
I'm Joe Biden.
And they can't say shit about it. I'm right, technically.
A part of him lives in me.
Yeah. You gonna tell me I'm wrong? All right, I got a scientist with me.
And they're like, factually, he's correct.
Fucking A. Let me in.
They're like, no. I
gotta hit the big red button.
They may put you in an insane asylum. You gotta hit the big red button.
You're gonna put the president in the insane asylum? That's fucked up.
Why do you want to hit the big red button?
I just want to hit it, see what it does.
Probably nothing.
And why is it there? Just for show?
No, I'm sure there's multiple buttons that you have to press at the same time. Because if there's just one, some fuck just hits it.
Well, I'm sure there's like a glass thing over. I'm sure it's not just something.
It's not a cartoon button.
Like you open a thing up and then you hit it. It's not just like, I fell and it.
Also, it's probably not a button. It's probably a key.
Well, give me the keys. I want to turn the keys.
And I'm sure somebody else has another key. That
I will get the scientist guy that's with me to turn the other key.
Why does he have the key?
Because they gave me the keys and I gave him.
They gave you both the keys?
If I have to get the fucking key to turn on the nukes, yeah, they gave me both the keys and then I gave it to him.
I'm sure the president has one. Somebody else has the other one.
The scientist.
And they're probably not ever in the same room.
Well, I'll call that guy. I'll find that guy. And he'll be like, yo, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley has...
set off these nukes.
No, it's Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, we need to set off these nukes. He's like, alright. And then he fucking turns the key.
He's like, where are you sending them? Korea.
Doesn't matter.
turn the key. He's like, what?
I'm gonna wipe Utah.
Nobody would care if we wiped off Utah off the map. Just saying.
Not really.
Not even Utahians or whatever they're called.
Utahns? They don't even have a fucking name. That's how unimportant they are.
Not even they would care. They'd be like, yeah, just send it.
Yeah, we live in Utah.
What happens in Utah? Nothing. That's why we're moving to Utah.
I like that it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but on theirs it's like what happens in Utah? Fucking nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. You ever hear anything about in the news happening in Utah? No.
No. Who wants to move to Utah?
Nobody. You're born in Utah.
Exactly. It's like Indiana. I always see people saying like, "All right, move to Indiana." I'm like, why?
If you're in,
why would you want to move?
If you're in Utah, you were born in Utah.
Yeah.
You don't move to
Utah. You're gonna die in Utah.
Yeah. You don't leave.
You don't leave.
It's actually a big concentration camp. You just don't know it.
Holy shit. That would be insane. That'd be the biggest conspiracy theory.
Have you ever been to Utah?
No.
Exactly.
But I've never had the desire to want to go.
Nobody's been to Utah. That's why.
Well, the people in Utah have been to Utah.
Yeah. But they don't know they're in the camp.
I'm sure the president's been to Utah a couple times.
Probably not.
Has he ever been to Utah?
I mean, usually not.
Fuck. Is that a conspiracy where we're gonna go through history and no one's ever been to Utah?
I mean, the president doesn't always go to Indiana because he doesn't need to.
I'm not saying always. But I'm sure
when they're doing elections, they don't. So they sometimes skip over certain states.
I'm sure at one point there was a president that went to Utah.
Probably. Where's Area 50? That's Nevada.
Yeah, 51's in Nevada.
So.
And I if I became president, that'd be the first thing. I'd be like, tell me about the aliens.
It'd be like, that's over your pay grade.
I don't give a damn.
It's like, it's over my pay grade? I'm the president.
Either you tell me about the aliens or I'm just going to walk straight in.
I'm the president.
Because I'm the goddamn commander.
And they'd probably be like, well, shoot you.
And then I'll go down as a fucking martyr.
And then imagine that headline: Area 51 shoots president.
Yeah, there'd be a fucking riot on your hands.
People would be like, "Wait, what?"
They're like, "Why? What are you hiding?
What are you hiding that the president?"
That's not gonna make it any better for you guys.
Right. So you better let me in.
So you better let me fuck in.
It's like this guy. And they're just sitting there talking to themselves. This guy's gonna tell everyone about everything.
I never said that.
It's like
I don't give a fuck what anyone else knows about Area 51. I just want a person.
But if you find out some crazy shit, you're not saying that you'd be holding a meeting right then and there and being like, "Hey, there's aliens."
Why would I want anyone else to know that?
Because you want to cause mass panic.
Why would I want to cause that?
Because you're crazy.
If I found out there's aliens, I'd want to keep that shit under wraps as much as possible. Because if people find out there's aliens, everything goes to hell. Everyone's gonna be like, nothing we do matters.
What if you find out that there's like time travel and aliens and all that?
I don't believe time travel. I believe there's aliens.
But what if you found it all in Area 51?
I'd be like, we need to destroy this time travel thing. Because that's fucking dangerous as well.
Dangerous.
Why didn't we time travel back to 9/11 and stop it?
Why hasn't my future self killed me yet?
And then they just look at me and they go, he will.
He will.
I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm. What if it's a time travel machine, but you can only go in the future? You can't go in the past.
That's fucking lame. That's just life.
And also, when you go to the future, you can't go back.
That sucks. No, if I got stuck in whatever time period I time traveled to, I ain't doing it. I don't want to get stuck.
Well, it's like, well, you know.
What if you go to the future and it's like there's been 400 Superman movies and they've all been bad?
That's
the
like, risk. That's the risky. Not. Well, Wade's biggest concern is there's been a bunch of bad Superman movies.
Not that there's any new diseases.
A meteor destroyed the Earth or something.
Yeah, so how many has there ever been a Superman game? Is it good?
How many Batman movies are there?
How many? Who became Batman? Who's currently Batman?
Did Arnold Schwarzenegger become Batman?
He's dead.
The fuck? That's your biggest.
Is the MCU still going?
Yeah, it's still going.
What's going on with the MCU?
Kevin Feige died, but it's still going.
Feige's frozen head is in charge of everything.
Yeah.